mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEW.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our high temperature this afternoon should be close to 70 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers, could be a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning. 55 Friday, mostly cloudy, winds increasing, a little uptick in scattered shower and thunderstorm activity Friday, but there will be dry time. 70 will do it for the high. Keep it unsettled right through Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show is here to help St. Louis wake up.
The Human Rights Campaign is coordinating a lot of these agendas between corporations and schools.
Weekdays from 5 to 9 a.m.
The Human Rights Campaign, don't get fooled by the name. It's not a civil rights group. It's a political lobbying organization. And what we're finding at Parents Defending Education is they have a heavy footprint in schools across the country.
Every weekday morning on 97.1 FM Talk.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494. Or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Join Odyssey and find your one thing as we count down to Earth Day. Leave CFLs on if you will be out of the room for less than 15 minutes to maximize bulb life. Otherwise, turn it off. One Thing is brought to you by Imperfect Foods. Get more sustainable groceries at imperfectfoods.com today.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by the Looting Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
GDP, first look, first quarter, is a nasty minus 1.4. Minus 1.4. We haven't had a minus sign since that nasty second quarter, COVID-related in 2020. Let's go through it. Consumption drops to 2.7, well below expectations. Although sequentially, it's actually higher than last time, which was 2.5. The pricing index, buckle up, 8%. 8%. That is unbelievable. To find a higher number than 8%, you have to go back to 1981.
The CNBC with, I'm just waiting for him to say for 10 low payments of $10,000 each person, even you, Molly, who's 10 and a half months, you too can be responsible for your share of the national debt and the direction that this economy is heading. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy that you're here with us today. Thanks for spending some of your afternoon with us. Kind of feeling a little bit like a spring day out there. And we are grateful that you are joining us. Now, you can stream us on the Odyssey app anywhere you go, anytime. Just a reminder, download that Odyssey app, find 97.1 FM Talk, favorite the station, and take us with you wherever we go, because I love spending time with you. The shocking, unexpected bad number, the bad economic number here, it's just on top of a lot of other really great news. Here, every day it's another thing. And it's this, I think that I'm probably much more on the side of these issues where you are, which is, I know that you tune in to 97.1 because you want to learn about why things are happening the way they are, or if there's something that can be done to change it. You just want to be in the know. I bring experts on the show to talk about these issues so that both you and I can benefit from their expertise. But you know where I'm an expert? When I go to the grocery store and I see how much my groceries cost. Here's the latest, folks. I can't find my baby's formula. We buy, it's Parents' Choice formula. It's the generic Enfamil formula for at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And you can't find it anywhere. Now, my baby is 10 and a half months old, pushing 11 months old. And if I were to, she's healthy. If I were to say, go to, I could buy the name brand, which is also hard to find. And it's very interesting, folks, go look at the shelves, specifically with baby formula, and you'll notice that they are very bare. The supply chain has affected baby formula. My daughter at 11 months can eat bananas and she can eat peas, and honestly, she eats basically everything from the table, save the honey and the nuts and the stuff that she can't chew with just the 8 teeth that she has. There are kids, there are babies who are formula fed who cannot have an alternative type of formula at this point in time. I had a nephew who was super colicky, and the only thing that would soothe that poor baby at the time was a specific kind of I think it was like an extra broken down version of the formula. And that is what would keep him from screaming literally all day. Baby formula is near absent from the shelves. I know people in my life personally who require formula for their older special needs kids, and they cannot find it anywhere. And they don't have a choice in the matter. They can't tell their child, you need to eat this, finish your plate. That's not how it works with these kiddos. So, when I open my phone, I see another Fox News alert and I look at it and I see it's more bad news, more of the same negative economic news. It doesn't make it any more real for me than I can tell all by myself when I go to the grocery store to feed my kiddo. You go to the gas station, gas is $4 a gallon. If you go to get, like I told the story before, if you go to Dairy Queen, they used to have a $5 lunch. I remember when they put some on there that were $6 lunches. Dairy Queen for a while was our post-church lunch. And the kids loved it because those meals, the kids' meals come with treats. And we loved it because the $5 lunches came with treats.
And it's good.
It's really good.
I really like I like the charboiled burgers there.
They have great burgers. They taste like they're off the grill, which is different than a lot of other fast food burgers do. And those are now $7 for the low price of $7. You can get a burger and fries. That's crazy. You get a treat too, soda. It's still crazy because it was just $5. So, when these numbers continue to hit us and we continue to see, the next thing that comes out and it smacks you across the face and there's more statistical proof, that's all fine and good. But I don't need those numbers to know that what's going on in the world right now is not benefiting middle-class America, because I am smack dab in the middle of middle-class America. And likely, so are you. And there's really nowhere to look right now and go, gosh, as soon as this thing kicks in, as soon as they get this policy through, or as soon as this new bill comes into action, we're on our way, folks. You know why? Because the government keeps trying to fix something that it needs to get out of the way in order to fix. The more regulations they pour on it, they're suffocating it. And there's no situation that is being put into place right now on the economy coming from the top down, from the federal government, that is more action from the federal government that is helping you get from point A, payday, to point B, the next payday. It's much, much more difficult. Inflation is 8%. Prices on everything are skyrocketing. And again, you could never tune into the Annie Frey Show. Don't even have to turn your radio on to 97.1 FM Talk to understand that the cost of living right now is through the roof, and it is a drastic departure, a drastic change from just a couple years ago. People know it. People understand it. And I think it's probably one of the biggest motivating factors for how people are going to vote November. I mean, Brad, you're paying as much attention as I am to these things. You see anything coming down the pike right now that makes you go, well, it'll be better. It'll be better when this gets done and through.
From the administration, no. Hopefully in November 2022, so November of this year, we will get new Congress, new Senate. Something will change there, and then the brakes will go on these really bad policies. But I'm also worried that if that happens, that these policies will switch from them trying to run them through the House and through the Senate to I'm just going to run them through with executive orders, and then it'll just be court battles and stuff like that. But I don't see anything from this administration that says, hey, you know what? We got a plan. We got this under control. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do A, we're going to do B, we're going to do C, and this is going to take care of these things. All I ever really hear from this administration is, well, it's not really my fault. It's Putin's price hike, or it was
it's a blame game.
Yeah, it was the COVID, and now we're coming out of the COVID, and I got to blame something else. He or anybody in his administration never have a solution. Now, poor Pete Buttigieg is over there trying to come up with a solution, but I mean, what can he do? He's the transportation secretary, so he doesn't really have anything to offer anyway.
I mean, It kind of brings me to the main point that I wanted to talk about today in the start of the show. Before the extra crappy news about the economy came out, is what is this administration focusing on? When you hear, was it the DHS? Was it the Homeland Security who said that white supremacy is the biggest threat facing this country right now? Give me a break. I mean,
to steal a line from Clinton, it's the economy, stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I say this all the time. How stupid do you need us to be? We're not that stupid. Some of us are pretty stupid. We're not that stupid. What's the focus right now for this administration? What crisis are they trying to solve? They're trying to solve the crisis of white supremacy. And as you can see it on a regular basis, they're trying to focus on those marginalized individuals. And I mean, truly, their words, not mine. They're trying to repair what has been broken in the past based on standards that they alone set and apply to everybody else and will eventually profit upon. It's so incredibly short-sighted, which is why I wanted to talk about this story. California, New York, and you got it, Illinois, used COVID-19 relief funds to push critical race theory in schools. Did you know that? Did you know that the money, the tax dollars that came from the federal government, the COVID-19 relief funds, they used that money as a way to push CRT in our classrooms. So this is a Fox News report. Blue states across the country are using billions of taxpayer dollars from President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package to push core tenets of critical race theory in public schools. The American Rescue Plan, ARP Act, which the Democrats passed in March 2021 without any Republican support, was billed by the Democratic Party as a necessity for reopening schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, yeah, we did need to reopen schools. It's funny because there's a lot of red states who didn't close the schools. So, but let's dump huge vats of money into these blue states so that we can effectively get them open. Whatever. That part was not in the Fox News article. It could be.
Yeah.
I can write that for them. Going on from Fox News, however, the law provided over $122 billion for elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds, which is written as ESSER, ESSER. So if you ever see that, you know what that's from, the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, which helped multiple states implement, quote, implicit bias, end quote, and anti-racism training, among other programs, according to research from One Nation shared with and verified by Fox News. In February 2021, before the legislation passed, the White House told Fox Business that ESSER funding would provide schools, quote, with the resources they need to safely reopen and fully serve their students. And this from Chuck Schumer. This is one moment in which it's clear that public policy is quite literally a matter of life and death. Actually, that was Raphael Warnock with Schumer talking about that. They use this as an opportunity to pander to this woke leftist ideology that has worked its way into your child's classroom, to your grandchild's classroom. And I will tell you this right now. I have heard from educators across the state of Illinois who have sat through this implicit bias training. I have talked to educators across the state of Illinois who have had to sit in services where they are asked questions about what's your gender? What's your skin color? Did your parents have a college degree? All these types of questions. And they're supposed to keep score. And if you answer yes, you give yourself a point. Sometimes if you answer yes, they tell you to give yourself 2 points. I'll let you guess what the ding ding ding. That's a 2-point winner for you, white man. you just know it's coming. Literally, across the state of Illinois, educators have been subjected to implicit bias training And they are to score themselves on how much implicit bias that they themselves hold. And then after the exercise is done to these educators, so that at the end of this, if this in-service is successful the way it's supposed to be, what ends up happening is the white male teacher who has had a pretty traditional Midwestern lifestyle and, never really been for one, maybe worked their tail off to get where they are right then, but they haven't had the worst life in the world. It's clearly illustrated to them how unfair the world is, essentially because they exist in it. And the CRT that you keep hearing people say, there's CRT in your kid's classroom, and then the other side goes, nobody's teaching CRT in the classrooms. People keep saying this is happening, and it's not happening. Listen clearly to me right now. CRT is not a class that's taught in school. It's a methodology of how teachers are supposed to teach everything they do in school. And it is very specific to the extent that if an educator has a kid of a white skin color and a kid of a non-white skin color, and they both commit the same offense that breaks the rules that are set forth by the school, that it is very, very possible that that teacher's responsibility in that moment should first be based on their visual assessment of the color of that child's skin. That is what they're teaching. This is so incredibly sick and disgusting, and this report that is out right now shows that billions of dollars, $122 billion for elementary and secondary school emergency relief fund help multiple states implement implicit bias and anti-racism training in their classrooms. I stress this. I want you to understand what the teachers in your school district are being subjected to. And I want to remind you one more time, and I'll do it again, that just because they're teachers, and yes, they may even belong to a teachers union, does not mean that they support this, that they stand for this, and that they agree with this. And the easiest, most basic foundation of what the teachers union does to be successful is to boil the whole question down to one thing. Do you love teachers or do you hate teachers? Their union is to represent those employees. Their union is not to make a better education system for the kids. The union is not for the kids. You know what the state of Illinois needs? Is a union for the students, a group of people who advocate for the students who are in the classroom for the best interest of them so that the tax dollars that come out of our pockets that go into the public education system benefit the students, because the only advocate right now that is lobbying the supermajority of Democrats in the House and the supermajority of Democrats in the Senate in the state of Illinois and take that pitch. I'm going to walk that one back in my mind. The governor of the state of Illinois, who is as Democrat as you possibly can get. The only advocate out there right now is fighting for the system that owns the teachers, and the teachers don't even like it. I'm venturing to make a guess right now that on the whole, across the entire state of Illinois, it might even be close to a majority of teachers in the teachers union do not agree with the direction that this type of education for these kids is going in this state. And I highly, highly, highly encourage you to look into what your school district is doing and teaching and asking and FOIA-ing any type of implicit bias education that is going on in your teacher's classroom, because if they're being subjected to this, you should know and you should call it out. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to talk more about how the woke progressive culture is seeping its way into our society in even the weirdest places that you might not even think, and how maybe we're going to push back on it and defeat it, even possibly. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna define. Don't worry about this heart of mine.
Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky from Heritage Foundation are joining all of us at 97.1 FM Talk on May 4th, and you're invited.
It's a full 97.1 event along with Heritage.
May 4th. Just RSVP at 971talk.com. Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. Of course, I'm going to give you the number here in a minute. So get your phone out to punch this number in, or a pen to jot it down on your hand. I used to do that all the time when I was in school. I wrote a lot of things on my hand. I don't know why I did that. I don't do that anymore. But this is a good number to write down if that's all you got. Air Comfort Service is really, really keyed in on what makes a business successful. And the proof is in the pudding, you might say. 50 plus years, 53 years, I might add, in service, treating people just like you, like they should be treated. Going into your house, assessing the situation in your home, tuning up your furnace or your air conditioning unit. And when the air conditioner starts to kind of putz out a little bit, and you need to know, is this worth me investing some money in fixing this, or should I just bite the bullet, and should I go ahead and replace it? You can trust the people at Air Comfort Service to give you options and to understand that your budget is something that needs to be reflected in the solution. They have amazing financing opportunities and also great rebate opportunities. Here's the number. Put it down and give them a call to talk about your HVAC system. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer. But look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind. Darren, the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. Voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint, formulated to outsmart the elements. Expect more from an exterior coating with Rhino Shield. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, mold or mildew. Premium protection from whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Our home exterior coatings intelligently designed to stand up to Mother Nature. We're driven by the uncompromising commitment to coat your home in quality. Experience the Rhino Shield difference. We've been changing the expectation of exterior coatings for decades. One home, business, church, condo at a time. Maintain your architectural features. Regular paint is an expense that never ends. The decision to do vinyl will leave you with a plastic moldy box. Paint a house, shield your home. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. You know what we did there. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK time is time for an $89 AC tune-up.
ChevroletClean.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Feeling like a bullet, jumping at a gun. I'm feeling like a winner. I feel like the one. You're doing something to me. You're doing something strange. Well, jump back, talk to me, woman.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So we're talking a little bit about the woke culture. Now, the Disney story really has blown up, and it's funny to me because I made a really big point to try not to talk about Disney on the show ever, because I know that before Disney was now Disney, there's a group of people who love when I talk about it, and you guys tell me about it, and you reach out to the show and tell me, and there's other people who hate that I talk about it. But then when Disney went off the rails, so to speak, I felt like it was really important for people to understand, knowing that I have an affinity for this company, where I stand on these issues. And it is ridiculous. It is heinous. And I've been thinking a lot about how the Doesn't Say Gay bill, the Parental Rights and Education bill, which if you read the bill, it is 4 freaking pages, folks. Like, you can read that bill. It's, to me, my assessment of it when I've read it multiple times, it is a whole lot less about not teaching gender identity K through 3. It's a lot more about making sure that educators are, if they learn something about a student, that they tell the parents that thing about the student. In the state of Illinois, educators who have a child in the classroom, and if Johnny comes into the classroom and says, and the teacher calls on him and says, okay, Johnny, why don't you read paragraph 1? And he says, my name's not Johnny anymore. My name is Jenny now. And I would prefer that you refer to me as she, her, which, side note, you never refer to a person by these pronouns. I just thought of that the other day. I'm like, this is only conversations that are happening away from the person. So how do they even know? Like, if I'm talking to you, it's like, hey, you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm like, did I just solve the whole thing?
I think you did.
All right, moving on. But I mean, like, if you really do think about it, like, to go up, like, for me to go up and tell you what my pronouns are, here's what you use when you talk about me behind my back.
Yeah. I was like, oh, thank you, but I don't talk about you.
Yeah. Here's my pronouns. You. So if you want to speak about me to my face. Anyway, if an educator in the state of Illinois is told that, and the kid says, I don't want my parents to know, they can't tell the parents.
That's ridiculous.
So if you have, I do have a middle schooler. My son is in 6th grade. He goes to a Lutheran school. Case in point. There are a lot of reasons why I send my children to Lutheran schools. I went to Lutheran schools. I have a positive experience on the whole from Lutheran schools. And I am raising with my husband Lutherans, Christians.
Mm-hmm.
That's like number one. If they can't add 2 + 2, but they know Jesus loves them and they need Jesus and Jesus paid it all, done.
Success.
Thank you. High five, Jared. We did it. That's the goal.
Right.
And that's my family. I understand if that's not your family, but that's the focus in my family. And I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is and sacrifice on my family to provide that for my kids. I really think it's crap that I have the privilege, because I can afford it, to offer that to my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and that other families who don't have not been blessed in that way, that their kids don't get that. But I digress. School choice, people. If my 12-year-old son decides he wants to be Charlotte now, and he tells his teacher, I'm going to find out about that.
Yeah.
In the educational system that he's in a public school, he could be going by Charlotte and dressing as a woman or a female when he goes to school in the bathroom, changing into a female, and I'm not allowed to know about it. What the hell? I mean, I apologize, but I mean, what in the world are we doing? 12-year-olds. You know what my son says? If I kind of needle him, everyone's like, you ever think about what you want to be when you grow up? Just trying to gauge the direction. He wants to be a Major League Baseball player. And I'm like, you go, boy. I'll drive you to practice. And You're going to have to practice more than just when you go to practice on the baseball field. You're going to have to practice at home a lot. And that's fine. I think that's a great dream for him. I'm not sitting here saying you're not going to be a Major League Baseball player. You're never going to be a Major League Baseball player. That's an irrational thought. I'm like, you know, have that dream. Have it as long as you can. There are Major League Baseball players who were 12 who wanted to be Major League Baseball players. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yep.
Real question right now. Is the state of Missouri is trying to pass a medical reassignment ban? They did.
Yes.
I believe.
I thought you were going to say they're also trying to pass something similar to Florida's HB 1557,
which is
doesn't
say gay bill.
Yeah,
which is what I call it. I believe I should have this in front of me, but I do believe that it's happening across the country in multiple places, but I believe it's happening here in Missouri, where they're saying they're banning the idea that a parent can take their child to get a sex reassignment surgery. So I have a proposition, folks. Let's meet in the middle here and let's think rationally. We all have our thoughts and opinions on what lifestyles we choose for ourselves. I would hope that regardless of what lifestyle you choose for yourself, that never causes you self-permission to treat anybody else with any type of hate. Lots of people doing a lot of things that I disagree with that have nothing to do with sexual preferences. But I don't go up and try to discriminate against them. You can love one another and depart in your understanding of those types of values. I'll put it that way. Why is it so hard to agree that we should not be altering the physical body of a child that has a condition that could possibly be conditioned to make them think that they want to be something that they are physically not? You would not go to a junior high girl who maybe hasn't developed as much yet and give her a modification of her physical appearance at that age so that she would look more womanly. That would be crazy, right? That would be ridiculous to modify the physical appearance so that a young girl who identifies as a girl could look more like what the majority of society says a girl looks like. You wouldn't do that because it would be wrong. Everybody knows it would be wrong. You know something else on the other end of this spectrum that as a society we've collectively pretty much agreed we shouldn't be doing this to young children? Conversion therapy. Conversion therapy is where people will take children who are somewhere in the LGBTQIA plus realm and try to work the gay out of them through therapy. They send them to therapists and they try to push this lifestyle out of them. Now, regardless of what your thoughts are on either of these issues, it seems to me like the people who are advocating for conversion therapy being like a punishable crime, that conversion therapy is the worst thing in the world you could do to a child who is walking through the LGBTQ questions in their life when they are young and they don't know who they are, and you're trying to force them into something that you think they should be. Why is it not the same for gender reassignment surgery on children? This seems really obvious and basic to me, that both of those could constitute child abuse. And I'm here to say to anybody who wants to abuse a child, pound sand. I don't care about the sensitivity that anybody has on either side of this issue to whatever the values that they're clinging to. Maybe there's another way. maybe there is a way where you can love this person in this moment in time where they are experiencing this, I'm not going to say confusion. I'm trying so hard to not say anything to offend anybody on this issue, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to push anybody into a corner. I'm trying to push everybody into the middle together, where we can go back to this place where we rely heavily on the idea of common sense. And there's nobody who's going to come across my path and tell me that the idea of reassigning sex through surgical means on a child is anywhere near the realm of common sense. And I don't think you can advocate for the horrendous nature of conversion therapy and be like, oh, but let's have a 12-year-old Charlie sexually reassigned to be 12-year-old Charlotte. You can't do it. And we all know it. That doesn't mean you hate anybody. That doesn't mean that you don't want certain kinds of people to exist. They are children. Who will protect these kids? Who will stand in this gap here and say, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. They throw in your face that if you are opposed to something like this, that you hate people. You might think that I hate people. I don't. I don't have it in my heart to hate people. I pray for people, and I really hope people pray for me because I need it more than anybody. We have got to stand up for our kids. We have got to advocate for common sense around every corner, because I have even more stories I'm going to share with you throughout the show about how it's reaching into our lives, into our lives of our children, and we have to be aware that it's happening. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a visit from Ryan Wiggins and his he's like 3 stories today. And I had them all laid out in the show already. He is going to talk about Joe Biden and this story I did. Did I send you the story? This one too. I'm going to let him do it though. Joe Biden made a promise to Kamala Harris that he is not keeping. And Ryan will tell us a little bit about it, and we'll decide if it's fair or not. And a reminder, too, that Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, it is up and available for you to vote in. And I know that I have a feeling I know which way this is going to go, but I need you to vote so that I can know what to do. Whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. Go to the YouTube, search Annie Frey. We're live right now. The poll is in the live chat. Wiggins America. When we come back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Mark Reardon Show.
Tom Spicer is back with us. Your mind is exploding over a guy who wants to buy a platform to embrace the First Amendment. They love the First Amendment for them, not for you.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Thomas Helbig in the Retirement Advisory Group, family-run business at the Retirement Advisory Group, which is good because it's kind of your family business. Your retirement, you've been working, you've been saving, you've been sacrificing, and you want to make sure that what you've put aside for yourself is going to pay off as you go through retirement. You see that the economy shrunk to this last quarter. People are surprised by that. What's going to happen if it happens in the next quarter? That's called a recession. How's your retirement going to fare? I have no idea, but that's why you have Thomas Helbig, of course. Thomas Helbig will offer you a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. So you're going to go in, you're going to sit down, you're going to talk to him about what you've done so far, and he's going to talk to you about the things that you can do and that he can help you with, of course, to make sure that you have a worry-free retirement. Such a wonderful thought that you've worked so hard and sacrificed so much, and it's going to literally pay off. Thomas Helbig is the key to that worry-free retirement, and all you got to do is call him 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. Call him, mention the Annie Frey Show when you give him a ring, tell him we said hello, and get started on the worry-free retirement process today. retirementkey.com.
This is Tracy again with the Acropolis Technology Group, and yeah, I'm going to talk again about another facet of security and how it could affect you. Most of you know what two-factor authentication is because most banks and financial institutions have been using it for years. Heck, my son can't even access his Xbox account without receiving a code sent to his phone. If Microsoft wants my teenager to use two-factor authentication to protect his V-Bucks account, doesn't it make sense for your employees to use it when they access your organization's software and data? At a minimum, you should be using 2FA to access your Microsoft 365 account, and if you're not, do that today. At Acropolis, our 2FA not only protects your Microsoft accounts, but also your corporate assets, regardless of where your employees work and where you keep your data. I know IT isn't how most of you want to spend your day, but from one business owner to another, you need to feel comfortable that these protections are in place. If you aren't satisfied with what you find, we can help, and it's more reasonable than what you think. Visit us on the web at acropolistech.com. That's acropolistech.com. Protect, optimize, grow. We are Acropolis Technology Group.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BREAK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BREAK for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code BREAK.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I hitched a ride with a vending machine repairman.
You don't know how he sounds for this? Just kidding.
No.
How many stories did you send today?
I think this was number 5. 4 or 5. And you had this one too.
Yes.
That's incredible. Because I thought this one's way off the radar. I thought this one wasn't going to be
it's
anything.
on Real Clear Politics and it's on the internet. It's like on Twitter. All
yeah,
over the
but
place.
I don't think it was on their first page. It was, it was like I thought it was kind of buried on there.
Here's the thing. I never go to Real Clear Politics to see. I know that's what you do because I see you on these websites and I'm like, oh, that's what the website looks like. I only go through aggregates. I have about 5 or 6 different aggregates that I look at that collect stories, and because I don't ever want to be like a rut lover when it comes to all of my stories. I mean, other than Fox News, but for obvious reasons. Anyway, let's get to the story. Weekends America.
Wiggins! As the story goes, Joe Biden and Barack Obama, when Biden was vice president, they would meet once a week to have lunch. And apparently that's where they got a lot done. So when Biden won the presidency, He promised Kamala Harris the same thing. We're going to have lunch once a week. It's where we're going to get a lot done. So Real Clear Politics did a review of their schedule. And in 2021, at this point in the year, so we're talking about roughly 3 months into his presidency, they had lunch 12 times at this point. That's basically once a week.
Mm-hmm.
He was holding that to be true. This year, at this point from January to now, they have had lunch total of 2 times. February 8th to talk about the Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer announcing retirement, and March 30th, right after Biden returned from overseas to rally the West on Ukraine. Those 2 times are the only 2 times that they have had lunch.
If this were a story about Donald Trump and Mike Pence, the headline would be Donald Trump refuses to let Mike Pence eat lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pence withering away in front of our eyes. Never eats lunch because Donald won't invite him. So they're asking, well, why is this? But it's funny because everybody already knows the narrative. But, when they're doing reporting, they got to go ask the deputy press secretary, Chris Meager. And he told the
I don't know if everybody does know the narrative.
Really?
Nobody talks about it. I mean, other than like us assessing it.
It seems like one of those things that generally when I talk to people about the relationship between the president and the vice president, which isn't a lot, they kind of have an awareness that there's some animosity there. I thought.
Well, it's perceived, but I mean, there's no narrative. They're not managing the story in any way, shape, or form. They don't talk about it. So the narrative, I would assume that the narrative is what they want us to believe. And I think that they work really hard to try to say everything's hunky-dory, but that's it. And obviously it's not.
Yeah, that is it. Because this quote from the deputy press secretary was, they asked him, why is this? Why aren't they meeting for lunch? He said, quote, well, he relies on her counsel, partnership, and friendship as they work together to continue to grow the economy, cut costs for working families, rally the world in the face of Russia's aggression, and make historic investments in our nation's infrastructure, unquote. Okay, thanks for not answering that question at all. That was the quote. I thought that was really funny. But in the lack of lunches, there's this book coming out. You don't really look at those books and stuff because we didn't do it with Trump. And I think it's unfair to do it with Biden.
If I weren't doing a radio show and responsible for taking, the soaking soppy up rag and wringing it out for the people, I would read all those books. But it's just salacious gossip. And if 25% of it is true, I'm interested in the 25% is true, but I'm not wasting my time picking through it.
Yeah.
Because at the end, it's not going to make me change my mind on Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Because what I don't like about them is that they are a terrible administration.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only interesting thing about this one, it's called This Will Not Pass, this book that's coming out from a couple of New York Times writers, is that typically you'd think if they're New York Times writers, they're going to write a terrible book about Donald Trump, but they write a decent book or at least a fairer book about Joe Biden. And so when there's stuff that's critical of them in these kinds of books, it's kind of interesting. They quoted Jill Biden as saying at the beginning of once he had announced, but he hadn't picked the vice president yet, she said, there are millions of people in the United States. Why do we have to choose the one that attacked Joe? And there's this constant kind of undercurrent that I keep hearing that Jill Biden really does not like Kamala Harris. And I assume it goes both ways.
That's ironic to me because it sounds like that's a protective instinct on her part, right? This person was mean to my husband and
she's real protective of his integrity. It's really good that Jill's like, I'm really looking out for Joe here. I wouldn't want him to look like a fool in front of people, putting that vice president in there who's slapping him around. No, let's put him on the world stage so everybody can see how senile he is. And I can still be first lady. But that's how I feel.
Yeah. Recently, first of all, are you running again? Joe's saying yes. And will she be your running mate? Yes and yes. So he is full in running again in 2024, and she's going to be the VP again.
What was the question you asked off the air, and you said you should ask it on the air?
Yeah. Who do you think hated their VP more, Barack Obama or Joe Biden?
Your answer was great to this.
I said Obama because he was paying attention.
Joe Biden doesn't know what's going on.
Biden's not mad.
I don't know.
Sometimes he gets mad, but he's not mad at anything. He's just mad.
He's just out of it.
It's sad. It's really not funny. Like I don't always succeed in taking the high road, but people are like, why isn't he doing more interviews? You don't want him to do more interviews.
No.
You don't want him out there. It's a disaster every time. We're going to talk to Tyrus about bullies when we come back. You are going to want to stick around for this.
Can't get enough of Cardinals All-Star Nolan Arenado? We can't either. On Saturday, April 30th, when the Cardinals host the Diamondbacks, 25,000 fans 16 and older will receive a Nolan Arenado bobblehead courtesy of Purina. This is the first Cardinal bobblehead of the popular third baseman and features Arenado with his lovable pooch. That's Saturday, April 30th, the Cardinals, the D-backs, and the first Cardinals Nolan Arenado bobblehead. Get your tickets now at Cardinals.com.
On Sunday, May 1st, the Cardinals host the D-backs, and that day, 10,000 kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket will take home their very own Cardinal fleece blanket. Cozy up with the Cardinals all season long with this exclusive baby blue plush throw, thanks to the Pasta House Company. Tell your parents it's Sunday, May 1st. The Cardinals, the D-backs, in the kids-only fleece blanket. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Snarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great! Because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A long list of war crimes. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. Ukraine's president calling for a special international tribunal on Russian crimes, including abductions of Ukrainians.
Russia has illegally moved the adults and children, hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians, to their territory.
President Zelensky and the UN chief also discussing efforts to evacuate civilians and fighters from a besieged steel plant in the heavily bombed city of Mariupol. A short time ago, reports of explosions in the capital, Kyiv. President Biden wants an even bigger aid package for Ukraine.
President Biden is sending Congress a $33 billion spending package for Ukraine, most of it for military and security assistance.
It's going to keep weapons and ammunition flowing without interruption to the brave Ukrainian fighters.
The budget request also includes more than $8 billion in economic assistance for Ukraine and $3 billion for food and other necessities for civilians.
Putin's war, not sanctions, are impacting the harvest of food and disrupting the movement of that food.
The president is also asking Congress to allow U.S. officials to use the proceeds of seized Russian assets for Ukrainian assistance.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Congress passed nearly $14 billion in aid last month. No alarm bells from the White House or Wall Street after an economic surprise.
The U.S. economy shrinking by 1.4% in the first quarter of this year came as a surprise to economists who predicted at 1% growth.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House.
Well, instead of looking ahead ahead to the coming quarter and considering that a second negative growth report would mean a recession, the White House is looking back at the first quarter of this year combined with the last quarter of 2021 and calling it positive overall.
Right now, the Dow is up more than 500 points. Republicans say the president's policies stifle growth and fuel inflation. America is listening to Fox News.
If you're in the market for a new home or your dream home, go with a lender you can count on for competitive rates. Over 300 loan products and thousands of loan consultants to help make sure you get the home and the mortgage that you want. Call now to see if you're pre-approved. 866-888-LOAN. 866-888-LOAN. Or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our high temperature this afternoon should be close to 70 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers, could be a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning. 55 Friday, mostly cloudy, winds increasing, a little uptick in scattered shower and thunderstorm activity Friday, but there will be dry time. 70 will do it for the high. Keep it unsettled right through Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Come hang out with all of us at 97.1 May 4th.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
And so will I.
Along with some of the top thought leaders in the nation.
This is Hans von Sperkowski from the Heritage Foundation. Looking forward to it.
This is Jim Carafano, and we are coming to see you in 97.1 Land.
It's a full 97.1 event, along with Heritage, and you're invited. May 4th at 7 at the Elks Lodge in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's all free. Let us know you're coming at 971talk.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Diabetic neuropathy, cold feet, resting leg pain, foot wounds that don't heal. These are classic signs of peripheral artery disease, or PAD. Left untreated, PAD can lead to gangrene and even lower limb amputation. Modern Vascular is a healthcare leader in the outpatient treatment of PAD. Last year, over 10,000 patients across the country chose Modern Vascular for the diagnosis and treatment of their PAD. Modern Vascular clinics consistently receive high Google review ratings and have received over 500 five-star patient reviews in the last 12 months. In fact, Modern Vascular has been recognized as the best PAD treatment specialist in the country. If you or someone you love is experiencing the symptoms of PAD, don't ignore it. Visit modernvascular.com today or call 844-4PAD-HELP to schedule a consultation in our local clinic. That's 844-4PAD-HELP.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. Control unwanted weeds and fertilize your lawn in one application with Forever Green Weed and Feed. It controls more than 150 types of broadleaf weeds, and each bag covers up to 10,000 square feet. feed. Weed and feed is only $14.99 after sale price and 11% off. Good through April 30th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
There's a campfire smell coming from your fireplace and pieces of brick in your yard. Who can I trust? English Sweep Certified Sweeps and Master Masons will solve all your chimney needs. Protect your investment. Get back to the important things in your life. Go to EnglishSweep.com.
The Odyssey app is for this station and also for music stations. Get 97.1 FM Talk on your phone or pick a genre. It's all there. The Odyssey app. 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
What Musk is proposing is nothing extraordinary. He just believes in free speech. Now, what does free speech mean? It means that you're not free unless you have the right to express yourself. It means you're not free unless you can say what you think. He is not telling the wokers that they can't express their opinion on Twitter. What he is saying to the wokers, the ones who run Twitter, you can't censor points of view that you disagree with. That's the way America works. That has not been the way that Twitter has worked. And I think it's very refreshing.
Senator Kennedy there. I don't know why we have to explain it so frequently. That whole idea of free speech. I was amused. Do you follow Michael Rappaport? Is it Rappaport? Is that how you say it?
I don't have to follow him. He pops up on my feed enough.
Yeah. Do I know him from something?
He's an actor. He was on, was it The Wire or something? He's like
I never watched that.
He's kind of a redheaded cop character usually he plays.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know who he is. I know his name and I know his kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I see his picture. Yeah. I don't really know what he's all about. He does. I am also very aware that he doesn't need me.
Right.
To know who he is for him to be successful. He's a lot more successful than I am. So, I'll credit where credit is due there. He's made a career, so on and so forth. Michael Rappaport tweeted April 27th. Today's the 28th. He tweeted yesterday afternoon a screenshot of Elon Musk on Twitter at Elon Musk blocked you. So Elon Musk has blocked Michael Rappaport. And his tweet says, Mr. Free Speech, #Elon Musk. And I have to say, Michael Rappaport is speeching freely all over Twitter, complaining about how crappy he thinks Elon Musk is. It's kind of the point.
Yep.
Wave your little American flag in America. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what Elon Musk is saying.
Yeah. It's like, and the thing about that tweet that bothered me is like, you don't understand what freedom of speech is. It's very obvious to me when you look at that, because he believes that I have the right to say something and you hear me say it.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
This is not the case.
So the whole argument, right, is that Twitter is the public sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And we want that chance to have an equal say on the public sphere.
Yeah.
That's it. And you don't have to stay there. You can walk away, which is what blocking
By
is.
virtue, Michael Rappaport, of you calling out Elon Musk for blocking you on Twitter, which Elon Musk owns, this is just kind of like, that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk to Tyrus here in just a second, and I'm going to talk to him about this bullying story. And I don't know if he knows the details of it yet, but I'm going to give it to him in a minute. But when I said to you, Brad, that I wanted to talk to Tyrus about this and bullying, you're on chapter 10 of his book?
Yeah, I'm in chapter 10, and I got it the day before yesterday. So it's a really good read. I can't put it down on honestly.
And you said he's the guy to talk to about.
Yes. I mean, he was bullied in his life, but it wasn't from people that you should or expect bullying to come from.
Well, let's get to Tyrus right now, Fox News contributor and weekly guest here on our show.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Just Tyrus is out now, and you can get it wherever you get your books from. Tyrus, welcome back to the show. I don't know if you heard me say that, but the producer here of our show, Brad, is chapter 10 of your book right now and has been raving about it since he got it like yesterday.
Tell him thank you so much for reading. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's a little. I didn't realize it was going to be this weird writing a book. Because now everyone, like, they really know you now.
Yeah.
You know?
Your version of
when
it.
you write it, when you're writing it, it's just you. And when you hand it in, it's just to an editor. So you don't really think potentially thousands of people. I thought maybe hundreds, like, oh, I wrote a book, Put it on my bucket list of things to do, But I'm just been really shocked and surprised and humbled. And also, I think it's a huge message to the woke and anybody who relies on social media for life facts, because woke wouldn't buy my book. So it's sold out, and so that real people are still out there. They just don't have time to get on social media.
Yeah, they're busy working and stuff. Did you hear the story about this Connecticut boy? I'm going to give you the details, but I'm curious if you're familiar with it. So Connecticut, there's a boy in Connecticut. And he's 6 years old. And I'm just going to read a little bit from the Fox News report here. 6-year-old boy in Connecticut recovering in a hospital after another individual allegedly covered a tennis ball with gasoline and threw it at him on Sunday, resulting in 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Police in Bridgeport, Connecticut said that unsupervised children were seen on Sunday lighting objects on fire and playing with gasoline. And the pictures of this poor boy are on the internet, and you can see what he is going through right now. But it kind of made me think about that concept of bullying and how bullying is always going to exist. But in this day and age, we have a really weird understanding of who is the victim and looking at people who are, victimizing others and pointing our fingers at them and saying, hey, knock it off. And I'm just curious, your experience with bullies, or maybe potentially even being in a situation where maybe you were the bully. I know in junior high, I was on both ends of that from time to time. I'm just curious what your thought is this day and age on the idea of bullying and what we should be doing about it.
Well, the first thing is you got to confront it. And bullies usually like easy targets. That's typical. And the kid who fights back typically will be left alone. But in this case, it's clearly escalated. I don't think they just started out throwing fireballs at this kid. It's probably been going on for a long time. And that's where we got to have our teachers and parents and individuals in his life when they're seeing the signs, because the signs are there. When your kid's being bullied and stuff. And I just had to deal with the same thing when my daughter came home from school and she was being bullied, and we had to talk about it. And I went to the school and had it handled. But you got to take the steps. The other side of it is that you have to. There's levels to it. It's not somebody making fun of you on the internet is not the same as somebody throwing a fire tennis ball at you. And in this day and age, we need to celebrate the victim and give the bullies real life consequences, and stop like, oh, well, they're a victim too, and this, that, whatever. Well, they're taking their things out on other people. That stops you being the victim. And we need to remember that it's not everybody boo-hoo. It's the ones who do something like that, because the kids who did that, they're not bullies, they're criminals. And there's a big difference between them being a bully and taking somebody's lunch money and trying to set them on fire. Yeah. So I think that's the term bully is just like, unfortunately, we lost definitions of words now, because everyone's racist. Everyone's a bully. No, we need to remember what exactly it is to be a bully. And in this situation, there should be detectives involved. Yeah. The individuals who did this are not bullies. They're criminals. and that's a completely different thing. It's not, and I feel like if you call them bullies, you're almost kind of like watering it down a little bit, because that's beyond the pale, and that's tragic, and that's horrible. And those kids need to be held accountable with real life consequences.
I think it's a really, really smart point. Tyrus with us right now. You're on the Tyrus and Tim podcast. Gutfeld, we see you as a Fox News contributor and author of his new book that is just out right now, Just Tyrus, a memoir. I wonder what you think about, being a victim these days has become kind of a currency, and there are real victims of racism. There are real victims of homophobia. There are real victims of sexism and chauvinism and all of those things. But it's almost an industry right now. Do you think that hurts the people who actually are victims of those things, that it's been industrialized?
1,000%. If right now, while you and I were talking, breaking news, somebody said they were a victim of racism, we'd immediately go, sure they were. What's the political affiliation? Like, well, what was it? Because it's used for everything. Literally, the word marijuana is now racist. So we just have to get back to getting definitions. I made a joke, but I was making a point on Gutfeld about the word racism. And I said, I feel like we need to have a Ku Klux Klan member come on the show and explain to the world what exactly racism is, because we've clearly lost the definition of it. It is not a comma. It is not. And it hurts people who really suffer through things. Every time something doesn't go your way or someone doesn't agree with you, you don't get to use those words like currency. And that's what we're seeing now. Any super progressive woke person who's losing an argument, their first move is you're racist. Or if you're a man, you're misogynistic, and it loses all. If everything's racist, nothing's racist. And when someone is a victim, everyone's like, well, the other side of it is, though, and you have to look at this side. This is how I look at it. With everything being racist, when people make racist statements, they no longer have as much power. Okay, whatever. At the end of the day, it always goes back to the same thing. People are going to call you names, and they don't necessarily have to be racist or whatever it is. Whatever there's reason for calling you names, it comes down to your reaction.
Yeah.
You're judged by your reaction. Somebody tweets that I'm Uncle Tom or I'm the N-word, which happens. And that ruins my day, and I spend my whole day talking about it and wanting to go after them. That was my reaction that took away my power. Instead of going, well, I'll just block that guy and move on. That guy was a moron, because they don't have the power anymore. There's not a league of evil racists controlling the world. As much as you like to hear people say that, more often than not, it's an excuse for our own laziness and our own inability. Like, oh, I got called this, so that's why I didn't go to work anymore. No, that's not why. You chose your reaction to that. If someone would have called me that, I go to work more. I get more hours. It's just like the example was on Twitter today with the publisher who wrote how he told me that my book had no direction, and they dropped me. And I could have. That was my excuse. Well, I didn't write the book because they didn't like me because I was black, or they didn't like me because I'm a conservative. But when it debuts at number one, and he's got to write, "Oops, my bad," and I even said, "It's all good, man."
Yeah.
And now you get to be a part of my bunch of stories in quotes. So, but that's the point. Like, you can't let something like that, somebody calling you names, ruin your day or your life. You have to keep moving and understand the reason why they're usually calling you names is because you're more powerful than they are. They're afraid of you. It's their problem, not yours.
I think that's such an important thought that people need to remember to have and to own, is the idea of power, and the power that we all have innately as individuals, and our ability to give that power up to people who are trying to steal it from you. There are scenarios where people are, wrongfully and in a villain type of a way, working to take power away from marginalized or weaker people or whatever the scenario is. But we are super quick to give that power away right now, and then point at that person and whine and complain about it, almost not to get the power back, but just to get the spotlight for a hot second.
No, it's attention seeking. It's like, oh, look what happened to me. Everyone make me feel better. And that's almost as bad as being the guy who called the name as the person who cries wolf for attention. Because you're not really offended by what happened to you. You just using it as a tool to get attention. I think we got to call that out. Especially when, people announce it, that this is what happened to me. And, you know, I'm so triggered, and that's not necessarily always true. It's like, oh, this happened to me, so I'm going to tell everyone. Because when it happens to me, I typically don't. Now, of course, I don't expect everyone to handle things like me. I get it, but you have to have a certain sense of that's your problem, you know,
yeah,
and move on from it. Especially Twitter, because it's real, or social media. You block them and move on. I understand when it's children and there's levels to it, but for like someone like me or the average Joe, I just happen to be on TV. And something like that happens, I usually just roll with it. I mean, perfect example with the guy was like, you don't have what it takes to write a book. And I could have went a million ways with that. And I just said, okay, well, obviously I have to write a spite book now.
Now you just gave me chapter number 3. Tyrus, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it. And I'm going to encourage everyone to go out and check your book, Just Tyrus, a memoir out. It is hot off the press and it's wildly successful. And we want to make sure everyone here supports you as well. Tyrus, thanks for being with us again.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm still not talking about my Red Sox yet. Not ready.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, in due time, we'll talk about them soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, but not now.
Not right now. Got it. At Planet Tyrus, if you do get his book and you do listen to the show, take a picture of it and tag him at Planet Tyrus in it and tell him that you read it, because he's been with our show for almost since I've been on middays, and he has stuck with us, and he's had an ascent. I've had an ascent at the same time. And I've always been grateful that he gives us, me, that time of day. We're going to take a quick break. Later in this hour, Stuart's American Mortgage, is going to come in here and talk to us about the economy and rates going up. And, I was talking in the beginning of the show, I don't really understand. I am no economist. I know that prices on everything are higher. I know that rates have gone up. I've been told that the Fed is going to raise rates again. But Stewie's going to explain it to me in a way that even I can understand. And you'll probably catch up with it a lot faster than I will. But we'll get that information here at the end of the hour. If you have questions you'd like me to ask Stuey, go ahead and put them in the live chat comment. And while you're on the YouTube live chat, go vote in our YouTube live chat poll. Whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. I'm really interested in taking the temperature of the audience here regarding this wild and crazy trial. We'll be back in a minute with more Annie Frey Show. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky from Heritage Foundation are joining all of us at 97.1 FM Talk on May 4th, and you're invited.
It's a full 97.1 event along with Heritage.
May 4th, just RSVP at 971talk.com.
Jen Teskey, realtor in Illinois, and the very, very best with RE/MAX Alliance. Jen Teskey is going to walk you through the process of selling your home in a way that is you're just going to be so grateful that you know Jen. And people who know Jen are just grateful to know Jen. And it's even better when you get to use her and you get to use her team to help sell your home for top dollar super fast. Jen Teskey understands the process of selling homes. She understands the concept of, it's your home, you love it, or maybe you loved it and you got to move on to the next thing. But she's going to get your home ready for the next buyer to love it and love it so much that they got to pull the trigger and make that offer. That's what her job is, and she is wonderful at it. Specializing in the Illinois area, Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Maryville, Troy, and Collinsville. She also has a certification in divorce real estate. And if this is something that is maybe up your alley, or maybe somebody that is going through divorce and they need somebody who is specifically certified as a realtor to go through that time, it's a very, very unique certification and not many people have it. Jen Teskey has it with RE/MAX Alliance. You can call her or you can text her at 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Real estate prices are through the roof, right? Home buyers are paying way over asking price. You're tempted to sell, but you're not 100% sure you're ready to move. In a perfect world, you could sell your home for full value, bank the cash, and continue living there as long as you like. Well, I found your perfect world at Truehold.com. This is life-changing. Truehold will pay you 100% of your home's value, 100% in cash right now. And here's the best part. You don't have to move unless you want to. You can stay in your home as long as you'd like. Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays you 100% of your home's value in cash within 30 days. Use your cash to do anything and everything you've dreamed of doing. Travel, pay off debt, or buy that new right-size home on the golf course. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com and discover the smarter, faster alternative to cashing out your home's full value without having to move. That's 855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Stuey with the Lance Stuey Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Stuey Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Stuey Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Stuey, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the
This
man who
is the
goes
Annie
home.
Frey Show.
If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
If I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show, the live chat poll today, which you can find on the Annie Frey YouTube channel on the live broadcast of the show today. Here's the poll. Whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. And the reason why there's neither and I could not possibly care less is because you might have listened to all of this and been like, they're both the worst. I'm not on either one of their sides, but you've still paid attention to it. And there are many people, I'm sure, who have paid no attention to it at all. This is kind of interesting. The latest headline out of this court case, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard back in court. And this is a little bit interesting here. I don't know if you've heard this yet, Brad. An America Civil Liberties Union staffer penned Amber Heard's 2018 Washington Post op-ed.
Oh.
Describing herself as a, quote, public figure representing domestic abuse, end quote.
Oh, my.
Quote, I tried to gather your fire and rage and really interesting analysis and shape that into an op-ed form, wrote ACLU communications strategist Robin Schulman in an email to Heard with the first draft of the op-ed attached. At least 3 other staffers were involved in drafting and revising the piece, testified ACLU COO Terrence Doherty in a pre-recorded deposition played in court Thursday. The earlier drafts included direct references to Depp, which her lawyers had removed. Heard had signed a non-disclosure agreement as part of her $7 million divorce settlement, barring her from speaking publicly about the relationship. Heard requested that the op-ed be published shortly after the release of her movie, Aquaman, to capitalize on the publicity, according to emails introduced the trial.
Man, nothing says civil liberties like attacking somebody's civil liberties.
Is there nothing else that the ACLU needs to be paying attention to right now?
They have outlived their usefulness, and it needs to go away because they don't protect civil liberties at all. They don't. They just take up whatever the leftist narrative side of it is, and that's what they go with, and that's what they defend.
Since this is a defamation case, and it's a defamation case that includes two public figures, the onus on the person who is trying to prove that the defamation took place is that there was intentional malice. You can, as I understand it, you can defame somebody and cause them harm. And if you defamed them and it resulted in harm and it's not a public figure, you're in trouble. If it's a public figure situation, because of your public figure status, the burden on proof is significantly higher, that the person who defamed the public figure has to show that that person was specifically out to harm the public figure. Because if you are in the public eye, I am in the public eye, just a teeny tiny bit of the public eye. And if somebody, when I put myself out there, I am putting myself out there for accolades, but certainly with that comes criticism. And, people show up every day to tell me how they feel about me one way or the other. But for me to be in the public, I can't put myself out there and expect nobody to criticize me. And they can criticize me with their opinions and be aggressive in those opinions and potentially cause me harm. But my status of being a public figure, there has to be a much stronger calculated effort to take me down in that capacity. Johnny Depp, of course. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger A-list than Johnny Depp, at least at what he's still an A-list celebrity. To know that Amber Heard put this Washington Post op-ed out and wrote this article that talks about how she has been abused, where all of the references are about her relationship with Johnny Depp, and that the original first draft of the article included direct references to him, and the lawyers were smart enough to say, oh, no, we can't put that name in there, because they know that that's the burden of proof. She didn't write this, and it was about Johnny Depp. I don't know nothing. Case closed. That's the YouTube live chat poll today. Whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard? Neither. I could not possibly care less. I can't say that I care, but it is interesting to me. Like, I am interested in how this goes. And a lot of it because I think it's exposing so much of what goes on the Hollywood scene and the celebrity scene on the East Coast and the left coast about how these people use their access to manipulate you and me, public opinion. And it's all a show. It's all a game. She wrote that article to make sure that it would increase the pub around Aquaman.
Yeah. See, I think that's something that I talk about to the kids in the youth group. These people in Hollywood.
Brad's a pastor, just for people who may not know that. He shows up and talks to youth groups.
Youth groups. It's just what I do. But I was telling the kids, is like they're always out to manipulate you, to shape your mind, to shape your opinion, to shape what you're thinking. And so I said, and I think Ryan is the one that pointed this out, but whenever a movie's about to come out, and I use Spider-Man as the example because the Spider-Man movie was coming out, all over social media, there was pictures of Tom Holland and Zendaya, and Zendaya, sorry, married Jane, MJ. But there were pictures of them, like they're dating, they're an item, they're a couple. A lot of that stuff is manufactured to generate hype around the movie, because then he was like, oh, they fell in love on the movie set and blah, blah, blah. It's all hype. And you start looking at this is a particularly cynical and sinister way of doing that. If that's what actually happened, let's generate hype around the movie that I'm going to be in by claiming victimhood status of being an abuse survivor, and then throwing basically somebody else underneath the bus in the process.
And she's an abuser.
and she did it herself.
Yeah, it's soulless.
Yeah.
It just, like, to me, I think was it Heath Ledger's Joker in Batman who says that he's like, I don't know if he said he was like a dog chasing a rabbit. He wouldn't know what to do if he caught it.
A car.
Yeah.
A dog chasing a car.
Yeah, like he wouldn't know what to do if he caught it. And it's like, you look at the existence of these people who have the lives that we all want to have. They have the piles of money that we all want to have, and they have the clothes and the cars and the access and the celebrity that we all want to have, except for the fact that we don't all want to have it. We don't. Right. We're not sitting around here drooling over the thought that, oh, if that could just be me. We're really not there. And there was a time, I think about watching the Oscars and seeing the absolute glamour that goes behind an event like that. And it's just like, it's a completely unrelatable spectacle, which is why, I'm on Facebook seeing my friends posting pictures of their kiddos going to prom. And I'm looking at these pictures, and I'm being happy for these individuals because I remember what it was like to go to prom, and it was exciting. It was fun. And you got to get all glammed up and everything. And so, I'm watching that with almost the same level of intrigue that I watch the Oscars, which is, oh, that's neat. I like that dress. Moving on. But I'm not sitting here slobbering with envy over these people and their lifestyles. And then when you pull the curtain back, and this to me is a story where the curtain is being dramatically pulled back. What a miserable existence. Johnny Depp is up to his eyeballs in drugs, in prescription drugs, in alcohol. And here he is, Captain Jack Sparrow. And I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I love the character Captain Jack Sparrow. But the real life Johnny Depp, who's supposed to be this A-list celebrity, is living a miserable existence where his psycho wife is pooping in his bed. What did he say in
making a grumpy?
Is that a thing? Have you ever heard that before?
Never
Johnny
heard
Depp?
that before, but that sounds like something I could hear him saying that.
I'm like, for once, I am incredibly excited that I cannot relate to your lifestyle at all. And there's a moment in time, and I think I've thought about this since Jim Carrey, after the Will Smith Oscar slap thing, and Jim Carrey came out and was like, I'd sue him for, what did he say? Like $50 million or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a ton of money.
He's like, I'd sue him. And he had no qualms about it. Jim Carrey said in that same interview, like he wants to go be painfully normal. He wants to stop acting. He doesn't have anything left in him. And there's nothing left for him in that world. He doesn't have anything he wants to do that he hasn't done. He just wants to fade into normal. And it's interesting to me in this moment in time, what we're hearing from Jim Carrey, that a confession of sorts. Maybe it's just something that he's happy that he can say out loud and just own and be honest with. But to see what's going on behind the scenes with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, all of this time, the whole system is set up so that we envy them. How much do they envy us? And if you look around your life and you're surrounded by blessings, and they may seem average and they seem normal, think about the things in your life that are actually blessings and start counting them. And hopefully you never stop. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to speak with Stuart Rosenbloom from Stuart's American Mortgage is going to be in studio with us. Rates are going up. The Fed is raising rates. Does that mean mortgage rates are immediately going up? Does that mean credit card rates are going up? What's the smart thing to do right now with your money? If you've got questions for me, hurry up, go to the YouTube channel and get them in the live chat, and maybe we'll include some of them here with Stuey in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The Mark Reardon Show.
Ron Spicer is back with us. Your mind is exploding over a guy who wants to buy a platform to embrace the First Amendment. They love the First Amendment for them, not for you.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So Stewie's about to come in here, and we're going to spend a whole segment talking to him about what's going on in the world and the economy. And we just got the news today that the economy has shrunk, and it was a big surprise if it happens again in the next quarter. We're talking about a recession. What's that mean? And how can you use this moment in time to maximize your economic situation? Well, I'll tell you what, it starts with a phone call to Stuey, 314-324-4440. You can call him or text him. I'll give you that number again at the end of this discussion here real quick. And I'll tell you, when you go to Stuey and you talk to him about how the bagel loan can help you, the first thing that you need to understand is that going through the process of getting a new mortgage with the bagel loan, which you can do if you're purchasing a home, or refinancing your current mortgage with Stuey, when you use the bagel loan, you don't pay the fees that everybody else out there charges you for. I've gone through a refinance twice. He doesn't tuck those fees away. He doesn't hide them. It's not a magic trick. You work directly with Stuey, and that's how he makes it possible for you to save tons of money on your new home purchase or on your mortgage refinance. Stick around because we're going to talk to him in a minute about the current state of affairs and how you can position yourself the best economically as times are kind of crazy. But if you want to call him or text him right now, he's coming in the studio. Get your bagel loan started, 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. Discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Get high and watch it too. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose. They headed down to old El Paso. I swear they ran into a great big hassle. Billy Joe shot a man while robbing his castle.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. One of my favorite times here in studio because Stuey is in here. My friend Stuey from Stuart's American Mortgage. He's the big loan guy. Stuey, thank you for coming in with us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's always good to have you here. I'm going to read Bonnie's comment from the Annie Frey Facebook page. A second closing with Stuart. I can't believe how easy they make it. Thanks for letting me know about them.
You know what? It shouldn't be hard.
No,
it shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be hard. And you make it easy and you also make it very fast, which I think is what people appreciate.
That's right. We appreciate having the opportunity.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about the news today that came out. I'm going to read the news alert here. I left it on my phone so that I could do this because there's some not so great economic news that came out and everybody who was talking about it was kind of acting like it was a surprise. The United States economy shrank 1.4% at beginning of 2022, marking worst quarter in 2 years. Gas is high. I can't find formula for my baby right now. So the supply chain is still jacked. Groceries are out of control. But this is kind of a new wrinkle. What's it mean if the economy is shrinking?
Well, this is a little bit of historical deja vu.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you weren't around because you're nice and young, but back in 1977, Jimmy Carter came up with a proposal to fight unemployment. Unemployment numbers were off the charts. He wanted to fight it. So he said, okay, I'll create all these new jobs. And how am I going to pay for the new jobs? I'm going to have the Federal Reserve and the Treasury print money. And this way we can employ these people and everything's going to be great, hunky-dory. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 years later, inflation hit 13.3%.
And we're at what, 8?
We're at
8.8 or something?
But climbing. And part of this government and the overall picture of the Federal Reserve is, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and raise interest rates. It'll be difficult for people to borrow money or buy things. They'll reduce the demand because it's too costly to buy a car. If your car payment's higher, the interest rate's 8% on the payments, you may not go buy that car. And that's going to help, the supply and demand problem that we're having with these inflation numbers. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens is when you raise the interest rates and people stop buying things, then what's going to happen on the flip side? Manufacturers aren't going to manufacture more. The economy is not going to grow. And maybe even the worst word, the L word, the layoffs are coming.
Yeah.
So when you start seeing this,
it's such a domino effect.
It's a domino effect. Now, I'm not a politician and I'm not advised to the Federal Reserve, but what I would have done instead of raising the interest rates is simply give tax breaks to manufacturers and encouragement to produce more items that people want. If you have more supply out there, the prices are going to drop and you don't have to raise interest rates to go ahead and combat it. But, I'm not a politician, thank goodness, so they don't listen to me. But that's what's happening is that it's becoming too costly to produce things. It's becoming too costly to buy things. It's slowing the economy down.
These types of maneuvers that the government is making. And, I try to remind myself we're coming out of COVID and it's an unprecedented time. So there were things that our government did because they had to do something. They felt like they had to do something. And if it was the wrong thing, maybe they made a decision in the moment that they now know that they wouldn't do again. But we've been doing that for a long time. Well, there's been a lot of those decisions that have been made. And I really start to get the vibe that the COVID pandemic has become much more of an excuse than we don't have any other choice but to take action.
It was a little bit nuts during COVID. I mean, nobody expected this. I don't think the political establishments can, on the spur of the moment, make a right decision in general. So they went ahead and they printed money during COVID in the tune of $3.5 trillion, and they pumped that into the economy. So all of a sudden, people weren't going out and spending money; they were saving money, and all this new money came in. And that's why we're in a situation where the demand is more than the supply. Is all this extra cash is floating around? If you talk to banks, they're flush with cash.
Yeah.
And they're flush with cash because they're not buying things, and they're flush with cash because they don't have confidence in the present economy, so they don't want to invest in stocks and other types of avenues.
So I want to read a couple comments here that we have coming in on the live chat. First is from Nick. He said, I only wish I did the refi with Stuey earlier. So compliments to you from Nick there. And here's a question from Jay on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Are the folks that have refinanced or bought a house while house values have been up going to be upside down in the near future when the market dries up because of the economy tanking?
You know what? The inflation, and I personally believe that inflation is not going to back off tremendously where you're in a situation where values are going to drop. So if you bought a house 30 years ago, you paid $150,000 or $200,000. I bought a second home in 1998. I paid $225,000 for it. And that's out in Chesterfield, 3,000 square feet.
Mhm.
Today, it's like $600,000 or $700,000. So I don't think that you're going to see a drop in the values in the near future, in the future at all. I think your home is one of the best investments you can make that are secure. As a matter of fact, that's one of the biggest driving forces right now why the home demand is so high, because people who have that cash, they don't want to invest it in metals. They don't want to invest it in the stock market. They don't have faith in the economy. So where are they putting their money? They're buying homes for cash. And by buying homes for cash, they know over time it's going to appreciate. It's not going to digress. Now, back in 2008 and 2009, when the whole mortgage market collapsed, that was a different ballgame. That was because you had all these fictitious mortgage lending
So that
programs.
the 08 mortgage bubble, that's not this.
Different ballgame. Now you have people that have to have documented income or some kind of verification of income
So
to buy a
we've
home.
learned a little bit of a lesson.
You learned a little bit of a lesson, right? So they've gone out. That's not going to happen. Now the demand may go ahead and drop, but it's not going to disappear. And so you're going to see kind of a stability in those prices, maybe a 5% drop just to kind of take a breather, but you're not going to see a dramatic drop.
So I want to read Chris's comment here. This kind of goes along with what you just said, and you can weigh onto this however much you want to. He said, Stuey, should we all cash out our 401ks and buy silver, gold, and ammo? This is how
Well, I don't know about
this is
this.
how you know where you are right now.
I don't know about the silver and gold, okay? But ammo, yeah, I don't think it's good for me to say.
You don't have to. I will say go buy ammo. I'm telling you this all the time. So we're speaking with Stuart from Stuart's American Mortgage. He's the bagel loan guy, and he's a sponsor of this show, and we are so grateful to have partnered with you. And I say that sincerely because I talk to so many people. They reach out to me like randomly. I got people in my Facebook chat yelling at me because they think I said something stupid about one subject. Another person loves that I was talking about this other subject, and then this person's like, thanks for telling me about Stuey. Just closed today. It was great, easy, as you said.
We try to make it easy and simple. Since when does mortgages have to be complicated? It's not a difficult process. You make it easy, simple. That's what I would want. And
Sure.
so if you treat everybody like you would want to be treated, at the end of the day, you're going to have a good business model.
So, it's certainly a strange time, and the economy, a lot of people have a lot of different question marks about it. Hunter on the Annie Frey YouTube channel says, how long do you think the rates will be up? I refinanced with you at 3.25%. Thanks. Because I don't think that 3.25 is out there right now.
I don't think you're going to see those kinds of rates in the near future. I do think that rates are going to back down. In previous engagements on the radio or interviews that I've had back in October, November, December, and in the beginning of this year, I actually predicted a recession coming.
Mhm.
I think it's going to hit really hard. And I think rates are going to drop probably close to 1% less than what it is today by the end of the year. So I know there's politicians out there that are not happy with what I'm saying, but I think it's going to happen. And I think there's an opportunity to go ahead and take advantage maybe, but it's not going to be 3.25. It'll be in the fours.
So let's talk about the opportunity right now, because I've been talking to you as I've been advertising to the listeners about how low these rates are, so much so that I myself have gone through this process twice with Stuey, and I trust it. I am a customer of it. So when I talk to you about it, I'm not selling you something I don't know about. I understand this very well, and it was a very worthwhile endeavor for my family. But rates are not bottom barrel right now. But there still is a lot of good reason behind why somebody would consider using a bagel loan that doesn't charge them the fees that everybody else out there is going to charge them for refinance. Maybe there is a good economic reason why somebody might go into the process of a refinance.
Well, a refinancing right now, listen, rates are not in the 2s and 3s. If you're young, as you are, you won't remember the days of 15%, 18%, 12%. So the rates that are around today are still very, very low. Now, what you have to measure is what is your purpose of what you're trying to refinance. If you have a home equity line of credit, you have credit cards, those rates are directly connected to whatever the Federal Reserve does.
So when we say the Fed's raising rates, we're talking about those rates.
Those rates. So the Federal Reserve is the cost of money between banks and the cost of money between the Federal Reserve and banks. What happens is the government requires that banks keep a certain amount of cash on hand. And in order to go ahead and keep that cash on hand because they're busy lending all day, they have to borrow from the Federal Reserve or each other to keep their cash requirement at the end of the day by law. That's the cost of borrowing between themselves or between the Federal Reserve. But that trickles down to us consumers. So if you have a credit card, which is an adjustable rate vehicle, if you have a home equity line, which is an adjustable rate vehicle, all those are directly connected to whatever the Federal Reserve does. The Federal Reserve is going to raise the rate a minimum, in my opinion, of 40 basis points, 0.4%, all the way as high as 1% next week. Ooh. So if they do that, it's automatically going to rise. Now, if you have a mortgage, even if you're at 3%, if you have those debts or you have a home equity line or you want to do improvements, going out and keeping them is just going to cost you more and more and more, and a lot more than just converting into one long-term 30-year fixed mortgage. Even though the rate's higher, you're going to save money overall and you're going to be protected.
We only got like a minute left here, but the key here, the advantage that, as I understand it, that homeowners have is the equity that they have in their home right now. That if they have that high interest credit card debt, you do have the ability to finance that through the heightened equity in your home to get down. Because I mean, in many cases, that high interest debt, it's very hard to get out from under. You pay a revolving minimum payment. This is like a in perpetuity like sentence.
We closed an Annie Frey listener last week. He had a home equity line of credit for 7 years, made the payments every month, did not pay attention to the statements. He borrowed $80,000. His payoff is $72,000 after all those years. Just the minimum payment just covered the interest. So those things you can pay forever and not get anywhere.
And if that's your experience, do not be ashamed of that, because there are so many stories like that.
So many.
And if that all of a sudden causes you to have that icky feeling in your stomach, you're like, maybe that's me. Get over that. Get over yourself real fast and improve your situation, because the opportunity is here right now, and it's with Stuey. I've got people messaging me about how they've worked with you, and I can't read them all. Andrew says he's going to call you later, and just call or text Stuey at 314-324-4440. Reach out to him and get the process started. Ask the questions. He can likely help you, and if he can't, he won't try to. Stuey, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have you here. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Gentlemen, spring is here. Recapture your vitality with Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. They're going to make it easy for you because they get rid of the excuses. They've got a brand new location that brings them to 3 locations close to you. One in Wing Haven in O'Fallon, Missouri. The other one in Town and Country there near Clayton and 141. And the original location off Greenmount Road in O'Fallon, Illinois. Book your appointment today. Go online to victorymenshealth.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Another tense day on Capitol Hill. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Homeland Security Chief spending a second day fielding a lot of questions about immigration.
My constituents want you impeached because they believe you've committed treason. They believe you're a traitor.
Colorado Republican Congressman Ken Buck accusing Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas of intentionally not enforcing immigration laws. He's also facing Republican calls to resign.
The chaos on our southern border is not an accident. It's deliberate. It's on purpose. It's by design.
Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, but Mayorkas says his agency is managing the border effectively, reiterating the 6-point plan he laid out this week.
Individuals who cross the border without legal authorization are processed for removal and, if unable to establish a legal basis to remain in the United States, promptly removed from the country.
And the White House facing growing bipartisan concern, though, about lifting the COVID-related rule that turns many asylum seekers away, which for now remains tied up in court. Congress getting a new request from the president for more Ukraine aid.
And as long as the assaults and atrocities continue, we're going to continue to supply military assistance.
He's asking for another $33 billion.
$20 billion within this package is set aside for weapons. If approved, it would give Ukraine much needed support to push back this Russian offensive in the east. We're talking about artillery, drones, and heavy systems that Ukraine needs to fight Russia in the eastern Donbass region.
Fox's Trey Yingst in the capital, Kyiv, where loud explosions were heard earlier today. A deaf and legally blind woman loses her court fight against a physical therapy business that wouldn't provide a sign language interpreter for appointments. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling that businesses receiving federal health care funding can't be sued for discrimination under Obamacare when the claim is emotional harm, not financial. America is listening to Fox News.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Rising home values mean that you could have more home equity than you might imagine. And if you're considering a refi, an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot could save you thousands. Ask about their smart term loans, cash out, and over 300 loan options to find just the right mortgage loan for you. Call now, 866-888-LOAN, or go to loandepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft. A criminal could be applying for loans in your name or even selling your personal info on the dark web. Protecting your identity can be easy with LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to potential identity threats. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEW.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Our high temperature this afternoon should be close to 70 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Scattered showers, could be a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning. 55 Friday, mostly cloudy, winds increasing, a little uptick in scattered shower and thunderstorm activity Friday, but there will be dry time. 70 will do it for the high. Keep it unsettled right through Saturday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Come hang out with all of us at 97.1 May 4th.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
And so will I.
Along with some of the top thought leaders in the nation.
This is Hans von Strakowski from the Heritage Foundation. Looking forward to it.
This is Jim Carafano, and we are coming to see you in 97.1 Land.
It's a full 97.1 event, along with Heritage, and you're invited. May 4th at 7 at the Elks Lodge in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's all free. Let us know you're coming at 971talk.com.
So if you go to igotfloor.com, which is so easy that I can do it while I'm talking to you right now, and pull up the website for Michael's Flooring Outlet, you're quickly going to learn all of the important details that you need to know about why other people have shopped at Michael's Flooring Outlet for going on, I think, 3 decades. It's a St. Louis business. Michael and his family, they're one of us, and they've put their roots down here in St. Louis, and they've had a successful flooring store because they care about the things that you care about. They care about quality, they care about value, and they understand that the dollar that you're going to spend needs to get the quality that you've worked hard for when you've earned that dollar. And they also know that the customer service part of this equation, it needs to be top notch. It needs to be better than the rest. That's why you go to igotfloor.com and you learn about Michael's Flooring Outlet, and you become one of the many people who have utilized their services and their flooring products. They've got everything that you need: carpet, tile, hardwood, laminate, tile, luxury, vinyl, the Mohawk Smart Strand carpet for your home, for your office, your place of work. It's all there. And you can check it all out online right now at igotfloor.com.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's credit cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.3% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pineview Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED, but what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now. 314-530-7777.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk. And in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcasts on Odyssey.com and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you use a smart speaker, you can listen to 97.1 easier than ever. Just tell it to play 97.1 FM Talk. Or download the Odyssey app for your phone and stream the station whenever, wherever. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock. River views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. The Loading Dock on the river in Grafton, Illinois.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
All right, Ryan. Wiggins America, take it away.
All right. GDP unexpectedly declined 1.4.
No, not that story. Just do it.
No, do something else.
Just kidding.
There's surprisingly a lot going on today for being us. There's not big news. There's just a lot of news today.
Meaningful news.
Yeah, meaningful stuff.
We're at halftime of the recession.
Isn't that ridiculous? It's sad. I didn't think we'd be here yet. I had no doubt we'd get here eventually.
Don't you want to sit down? Brad and I were kind of having a conversation similar to this, and I won't ask you to go into on air what you were. You're like, which conversation is she talking about?
Let's go.
No, let's not go into that conversation. I'm talking about earlier. Don't you want to, as somebody who is a conservative and a Republican, which I think, am I correct? We all identify as conservative Republicans.
Yes, indeed.
Are any of you ashamed to be like, no, I'm a Republican?
No, and I use the terms more interchangeably now than I ever have.
I'm over I'm a conservative, not a Republican.
Me too.
Screw that.
Yeah, screw it. Who cares?
No, I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
I am not that other thing.
Yeah, right. No, that's right.
I
don't care what you call me.
Republican.
I'm not that.
And nobody else gets to define that but me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for all of us who have gone through the like, well, the Republican Party, blah blah blah. No, I gotta calm down. I'm gonna swear.
I know of all the things that could do it, that would do it.
Well, there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I didn't sleep last night. Again, I was telling you guys, I did not go to sleep last night. I had a lot on my plate. I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot of things that I need to be doing and decisions to be making. And almost all of them are like mundane life things. It's not like there's no like, I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Things are fine. Things are good. But I have too many things condensed into a 48-hour span of time. And my son had a baseball game last night, which I should mention Brad came to.
Well, that's cool.
Where were you?
That's nice. I was watching soccer, my own kids. Why weren't you there?
Well, you haven't given me a schedule yet, Ryan.
No, he wanted me to go to the
I was talking to Annie, but you can come too.
Yeah, you gotta give me a schedule. I'll
Okay.
come out there and yell at him.
That'd be a little weird.
My son's baseball team played a very good team last night.
Mhm.
And I mean, Brad, so it was, could you, it's like, you're like Sarah Penn, like, I could see my house.
No, but I could.
I could see, yeah, I mean, could
Oh,
you
that's why
actually
you
see
came.
your house from where we were?
Yeah,
Or just,
yeah,
I
I know it
mean,
would have been a lot easier if that new construction hadn't been there, but
they rode their bikes. Terry came out too. And so Brad and Terry came out to watch the game because we were right there. And he's like, that's the neighborhood I live in. And you could see it. It was right there.
Yeah,
So
old fashioned.
It was,
Riding his bikes out to see the baseball.
it was fantastic. And
I
it was
like
a
the cut of your
great night
jib,
for
kid.
baseball. Yeah, here we go. Say something about pudding.
Who put the poison in your pudding?
This time it's poison. Last time it was Pearl.
Pearls. This
Just
time it's poison.
P words.
Man, people throwing that pudding at the electric wire, something's going to get fried. You know what I mean? You put pudding in anything you want. You just make up sayings.
What makes me mad is at the end where you say, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not sure.
I think I might know what you mean, right?
I'm like, and if I do know what you mean, that kind of frustrates me.
Yeah,
Because I can
it's
tell.
on you at that point.
By the way, yeah, it's all about the pudding. Get a pudding sponsor? Maybe some
yes.
puddings out there.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'll even do it in Bill Cosby voice.
What
And it's
if
probably
it-
inappropriate.
What
now.
if it was a pudding donut?
I'd eat that. I do eat that.
We could have a pudding donut CDR Guinness Book of World Records event.
Yes.
And if you don't know what a CDR is, that's a circular donut raft, which some call an inner tube. But Ryan wants to
It's
be.
weird that you have to explain that.
It is.
Everybody knows what a CDR is.
It's
Circular donut raft.
incredibly weird. If you cover, well, okay. So for literally everybody else participating in this show right now, I guess not the people who are on the YouTube and the Facebook right now, but he does sound like Paul Rudd sometimes.
he does.
He sent me what you sent me.
It was a YouTube short of Paul Rudd talking about what he ate.
And he said, Paul Rudd is Ryan Wiggins.
It's fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm fine with that comparison.
He was talking about putting all you can eat Chinese $2 Chinese food into a bag, and that's what he would
Into
eat
a
throughout-
Tupperware. He would bring Tupperware to a Chinese buffet that made him sick, but he would still fill it up because it was so cheap.
That's amazing.
I know. I'm sure you would think so.
This can't be recent.
But when he said it, he says it, you guys have the same tenor of your voice.
Huh. Interesting. I guess that's what Hollywood does. You just hang out with these people enough and you end up talking like them.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Go back to the thing where I was just
Yes.
start swearing. Just start swearing.
Let's go back to you swearing.
So what was I talking about?
You were talking about not sleeping.
Baseball. I was
Charlie's
talking
baseball game.
Well, I was at the baseball. I don't remember why I was
You were
talking
talking about existing in 48-hour increments instead
yeah,
of 24-hour
I just had a lot to
increments.
do. Baseball game last night. Got home late. Every night I sit in front of my television and watch probably Tucker Carlson and maybe Gutfeld if the kids go to bed, because sometimes I don't want to watch the news in front of them because I don't want them to see what's on the news. Other times we'll watch YouTube together. Last night I came home from the baseball game, which is a side note. I don't think I finished this, but they were losing 1-0 till the top of the sixth. The game is 6 innings. We scored 4 runs at the top of the sixth in like real baseball way, which at 12U,
There's a base.
you hope that starts to happen, but it's not always.
The bases clearing double down the first base line. It
Yeah,
was amazing.
a legit hit.
Did you keep a scorecard?
I did not.
Maybe
Nope.
next time.
And so we ended up winning that game, and the other team was great. They played really well,
Mhm.
and we played really well, and it just was fun to win a baseball game like in a baseball way. So we hustle home, but on our way home, I wanted to know what was going on with the Mets Cardinals brawl.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch that?
I was recording something yesterday. So I'm in this room over here. I'm recording something. I cannot.
That's
I know.
really
I know.
Man, I didn't even have to say anything. You're like, that was dumb. I'm in this room right over here.
I can see our studio and I can see the brawl happening during Mark Reardon's show, but I was in the middle of doing something, so I had to pay attention to what I was doing, but I wanted for all the life of me to be watching that brawl. There's nothing like a baseball brawl.
I know, because it's so...
A what now?
A baseball brawl. We're told...
What about a brawl?
We are told... Tell me that I'm wrong here. We are told to be like, well, it's a brawl, so we want to make sure nobody's injured, and we want to make sure that we understand that
nobody's ever told me that.
Everybody's against violence.
If that happened on my son's baseball field, you'd have moms pulling kids off the field by their ears.
I'm not talking about little kids.
But these professionals?
I'm talking about when there's a professional baseball brawl. I am all in.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Say crayon.
You know where the dump button is?
Yep.
I'm going to say something right now.
She's going to do it.
It's a button that if you were watching on the YouTube channel, you were going to know what I say. And the people on the radio are not. No, I think baseball brawls are hilarious and funny because it's so much posturing.
Yes,
to me, it's the epitome of, sorry guys, ladies, you know what I'm saying? It's the epitome of unkept testosterone, where it's like you get out there and you're like, oh God, now I gotta peacock around the field here and act like I'm big and bad, but I really don't want to get hit. I don't want to hit anybody. I don't want to get hurt, but I can't look like a wuss. Did you get Alonso's sound? Did you hear his sound?
I heard the interview live.
I retweeted it. Can you pull it up on that computer here?
Was this after the game?
Yes.
I think I did hear this.
Don't say it on it, because what he says.
Yeah. It was a little surprising.
Funniest thing ever. If we're talking about the same thing.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on what you pull up here.
So I'm watching. I analyzed that brawl from like 5 different broadcasts.
Me too.
I was on my husband and we got to see what this is. We got to see what's going on. And so we pulled it up on YouTube, and like every single different channel, there were people who had taken I can stop saying like John Boy Media. Have you ever looked at John Boy Media? John Boy is one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's got some language in it, so if just keep that in mind. But it's basically a breakdown of, I think he pretty much only does baseball, isn't it? He
does baseball, but in the offseason he does other weird
there
sports.
might be some other major
Hockey
things that
fights,
he kind of does
baseball.
the John Boy thing, but he goes through and he just kind of does the play-by-play and the narration, and it's just so funny. So I was like really hoping for that one, and we couldn't find it. So we watched Cardinals broadcast. We watched highlight reels that were put out there by you that weren't a package that had been put together. We watched the Mets broadcast of it, and the Cardinals broadcast. Oh man, it was so fun. And is it Giovanni Gallegos?
Yes.
Comes leaping over the bullpen. Like, I was like, I don't think he's gonna make it. Made it. There he goes.
That's the most impressive thing about the whole brawl.
Yes.
Is when he jumps over that wall.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
dude.
I thought Stubby Clapp taking up.
Well, that's
Alonso
cool too.
Was pretty.
Yeah. Alonso's a big dude.
Last night, and Stubby Clapp is not.
Right.
When I'm not sleeping last night, there are people covering this on Twitter. So what I do is go look at the national media coverage of it, and then I just go read all of the tweets, all of the replies, because they're so funny. And then it's like the entire chain of people finding out that there's a man named Stubby Clapp. You can kind of see where that's going, but there. Do you have that clip?
I have the Pete Alonso clip.
Yes.
Okay. This is good for air, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out.
You know where the dump button is. We've established that.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's listen. And this is Pete Alonso, the first baseman for the New York Mets.
Well, I mean, again, I got pulled from behind. Actually, Genesis Cabrera grabbed me by the back of the collar, and then he just ripped down, and then the coach just kind of jumped on me, and I thought that was kind of cheap going from behind. I mean that's if you want to hold me back, if you want to restrain me, go at me like a man.
The Cardinals manager just said that he actually had no issue with the way the coach tackled you to the ground? What's your reaction?
Well, I mean, I totally understand because I'm a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy, and obviously the manager wants to have protection for his team and his staff, and I totally get it. And
But
for
wait.
me, like, I'm a big, strong guy. They don't know like my temper. They don't know what I could do. I mean, if I wanted to put someone in the hospital, I easily could. But
What?
I'm just out there trying to protect my guys.
This is like if Ryan Wiggins put on a uniform and crashed the Mets locker room, and some sad, sorry stringer who doesn't know what he's doing and has never done this before comes up and interviews Ryan Wiggins, and he gives that interview.
Yeah, you put me in one of those muscle suits and on like those Nickelodeon stilts, and I walk there and they're in a Mets uniform. I'm like, well, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm a big, strong guy. I can probably take on anybody. Anybody want to do an interview?
I'll put you in the hospital.
Yeah. One big, strong guy? Okay. Two big, strong guys? Now I'm laughing at you.
I did not hear the rest of that.
Yes.
All I heard was the clip where he says, if you're going to come at me like a man. And I thought, well, that's kind of controversial.
That's kind of what Stubby Clapp did. And he took him down.
And he did come at his front. He ended up around the back, but Alonso was not attacked from his back. He didn't see it coming because he's tiny.
Okay. Of all the broadcasts you watch, though, didn't you hear somewhere in there the broadcast saying, you hate to see this? This is like they're required to say that.
No.
I see that, especially
I heard him
with
say over and over and over again, you knew this was coming.
I heard that too.
Over and over.
Yeah, you knew this
like
was
this
coming.
has been brewing for a while.
We didn't know if we'd see it here, if we'd see it at Citi Field.
Yeah, tensions have been rising, and then they go over the litany of this person hit this person and that person hit that person. I mean, somebody check the ball. Is it a little too slick? What's the deal?
I don't know.
Because if we're plunking people, maybe don't do it when the bases are loaded. It's just me. I'm a girl, so what do I know? But I don't think that we're intentionally hitting people when the bases are loaded. So what's going on?
Yeah, the Mets have been hit a bunch too, and I think Alonso's already been hit 4 or 5 times.
Four times.
Yeah.
Leads the league, Alonso, and the Mets lead the league as a team.
Like, I get it. You don't want to get hit, but it's 4 times. I understand that you lead the league, but it's 4 times, and you're a big, strong guy. You can put people in the hospital.
Are you?
I think he is.
No,
I think he's a big, strong guy.
I don't know any big, strong guys who walk around saying twice. I'm a big, strong guy.
You need to go to the gym more.
He's probably going to call me out or something.
I always just walk past the bench press and just be like, what are you? What? I'm a big, strong guy. Come at me.
Did your grandma say that to you?
Lots of people,
big, strong guy.
Lots of people in the comments going, big, strong guy gets tackled by a 50-year-old coach who's 5'7". It's just like, I was going through this, I'll add to the context because I did a lot of research on a numerous amount of things in my sleepless night last night that I didn't know this. Pete Alonso, like right before spring training happened, he got T-boned by a red light runner.
He was probably fine though.
And he got in a rollover accident. His car rolled over 4 times. His wife was in the car behind him and saw the whole thing happen.
Wow.
Like it's a super terrifying situation. Because I Googled Pete Alonso because I was like, is this guy a punk? Like, I need to know more about this. And I wanted to humanize him because I was kind of like reading all the comments, starting to feel sorry for him. Then I watched the video again and I'm like, no. He doesn't need me to feel sorry for him. You know why?
He's a big, strong guy. That's a keeper. That's one that goes in the permanent file. I'm a big, strong guy, Pete Alonso.
Oh, man. It reminds me of I think it's the Oklahoma Sooners coach. I can't remember what his name. Gundy? Coach Gundy? I'm a man. I'm 40. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know this one either.
Oh, man. The press was attacking some of the players. And he's like, I'm a man. I'm 40. And he's basically saying, if you want to go after somebody, go after me because I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm 40.
This, I think, was a sound drop. I bet you it took place, I'm going to guess, in 2008 or something like that, because I think it took place when I was at KFNS. And I have, from my 590 sports talk radio times, I have these drops in my head that every time I hear something, I hear the drop that we would play on KFNS over and over again. And I'm a man. I'm 40 is definitely one of them. And, because I'm a big, strong guy and I can put someone in the hospital if I want to.
I mean, we're just talking here. I'm a big, strong guy.
It's ridiculous.
Would it be inappropriate of us to encourage more brawls, though. I would like to see a brawl per series.
Here's the question that I have for you when we come back.
Okay.
Is there a comparable scenario where women behave the way those men did yesterday? Don't say anything now.
Okay.
Think about it. Was that a man thing, or is that to say no? The women fill in the blank here. We'll talk about it in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Jim Carafano and Hans von Spakovsky from Heritage Foundation are joining all of us at 97.1 this Wednesday.
And you're invited. It's a full 97.1 event along with Heritage.
We'll all be there this Wednesday. Just RSVP at 971talk.com.
So Hair Saloon, where my husband and my son go to get their hair cut, it really warms my heart that they have a place they go together and they kind of get that barbershop experience. And by kind of, I mean, they absolutely do. Hair Saloon believes that men deserve better, and they are boldly saying that, and they are boldly treating men that way each and every time they come through the doors to get their hair cut and to get the whole process. Hair Saloon for Men remembers and is working to restore that kind of tradition. Young or old, Hair Saloon experience is tailored to help you relax and prepare for whatever the world is going to throw your way, so that you can have confidence every time you go into the hair salon that you're going to come back out refreshed and looking fantastic. If you want a confident, wonderful looking haircut every single time, look no further than Hair Saloon. You can go online and you can see how easy it is to make an appointment for yourself. You can find the stylist that you prefer to have each time and schedule with them. It's very easy. Just go to hairsaloon.com.
Life happens, and suddenly you need to sell your home. When life happens, for whatever the reason, you need a real estate agent you can trust and count on to help sell your home for the highest price with the least hassle possible. Hey, it's Mark Cox here. I'm sure you know a realtor or two. Everyone does. But I only trust and endorse one agent. Let me tell you about my friend and realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and why you should call. Gloria Liu already has thousands of buyers. She has the experience and the expertise to help you when you need it most. Fact is, Gloria sells 2 times faster for 5% more money on average when compared to other agents, just like she did for Gary in St. Louis, thousands over asking price. When life happens, call the real estate agent I trust. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
When our Shane Company diamond buyers travel overseas to examine diamonds, they have everything they need to select the most beautiful stones. In-depth knowledge, experience, natural light, and an eye for beauty. When you shop with us, we want you to also have everything you'll need to select your diamond. That's why we sell our diamonds loose. We were the first jeweler in America to sell loose stones. To choose a diamond, ruby, or sapphire like an expert, you need to see the entire stone, to look at it from every angle before it's set into your jewelry. Our jewelry consultants provide everything you need to properly evaluate a stone, the tools, the correct lighting, and the knowledge. You'll compare loose stones side by side, like our diamond experts do. It's the only way you'll be sure to choose the perfect diamond for you. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Business owners, would you like to get in front of more than 1,000 other business owners and decision makers in one day? How many deals and connections could you make? Grab your business cards and samples and be at the St. Louis Business Expo Tuesday, May 3rd at the St. Charles Convention Center, the largest B2B expo in the region with over 20 seminars and a massive speed networking session. You'd be one of the more than 1,000 business owners there. It's free to attend, but you gotta RSVP now at stlexpo.com. stlexpo.com.
KFTK time is time for an $89 AC tune-up.
CherryClean.com.
Sun shines, clouds rain, train whistles blow and guitars play. Preachers
This is the Annie Frey Show.
farmers plow.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
And the world goes round. And
It's never too late. And by that I mean too early to get your questions in for Ask Me Anything tomorrow. Brandon's got one in the file folder now. Ask Me Anything for Ryan tomorrow. Are you a big, strong guy? Could you put someone in the hospital?
Yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm going to do some reflection on that tonight.
Heads up, Brad.
Well, who says I'm not a big, strong guy? Put somebody in the hospital.
Well, we'll ask you once we're done letting me answer because I'm going to take a long time. There's some great comments on this YouTube page right now.
I know. People are laughing.
How does Pete Alonso know that he is a guy? Is he a biologist?
No, he's a first baseman. He couldn't possibly know.
That's from Hunter, who also says we need the bullpens to meet in the outfield and just fight out there. I'm here, man. I'm watching. That's happening. I'm in.
There was a larger man coming out of the Mets bullpen. And, you know, I could relate to that because I was athletic, but I was never I was faster than any random. No. And I was faster than like any random group of kids, but on the athletic teams that I was on, I was never like, speed was not my.
Yeah. So you'd always challenge random kids.
I was a big, strong girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I watched him and I was like, oh, he's just thinking, God, I don't want to be the last one there. I don't need to win anything. It'd actually be better if I wasn't the first one there, but I really don't want to be the last one there.
Yeah, it's like bottom third of the people there.
So all of these men, they just like as soon as I guess y'all men are just like side eye looking at each other like, you gonna go? I'm gonna go. You gonna go? We're gonna go out there? We're gonna do this? We're gonna make this happen? And then the one person goes, charge! And then everybody goes out. And then from the four corners of the field, dugout, bullpen, here come the people. And then it's always amazing to me because almost everyone's too smart to throw a punch. So it's just like a mosh pit. What are you accomplishing? Some people fall over and it's just everybody's holding each other back. And
like a big circle of people holding each other.
But what from? And I was watching this and I said out loud to my husband, who I think was sleeping at the time. I was like, what if these were women? And it was wildly entertaining thought to me. And I thought to myself, and I'll say it so you don't have to say it, like, is the only time women do something like this Black Friday at Target?
Ooh, interesting.
What would women do in that instance?
Well, are we saying women are playing baseball? Or we're just trying to come up with some situation where they're fighting.
What scenario are women in a position to go, all right, let's go, and then mass fight?
I've got it. Roller derby.
This is a different breed of women. Strong.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Big, strong women.
Big, strong, yeah.
Not necessarily. Strong, not necessarily big, though.
Listen to those interviews after the game. Well,
isn't it kind of funny? So. Like, just imagine what you saw in that replay of that brawl and just imagine the big women. Yes. I need to sleep. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. But I just thought of like a bunch of women out there pulling each other's hair and stuff like that. And I thought it wouldn't look any more dumb than what they're doing. It really wouldn't.
What you're describing sounds like somebody who I'm sitting next to at a bar who I don't know going, hey, look at that. Imagine if that was a bunch of women.
Yes. I told you, I need to sleep.
Sir, I don't know you. I just came in here to use the restroom.
If women behaved the exact same way that those men were behaving, it would look like a cat fight.
Well, is that just because women fight less gracefully than men?
Rude.
Yes, but true.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, we're talking. I remember in high school.
Women fight less gracefully.
Oh
than
my
men?
gosh, yes. It's gross. I mean, it is teeth and hair and blood everywhere. Watching girls fight in high school was way more fun than watching
I'm with
guys
you, Brad.
fight.
People can't hear the face you're making on the radio, but maybe
You
they
know
can.
I'm right.
Blood and hair, and you call that graceful?
No, less graceful.
He says that women don't fight.
Wait,
it's nasty.
How
the way
many
women
fights
fight.
have you seen guys have?
Oh, quite a few.
And you don't see people like ending up missing teeth.
What
and
about
not
the St.
bleeding?
Louis Cardinals and the Mets yesterday was graceful?
Giovanni
like you
Gallegos
said.
hopping over the
That
fence.
was not graceful.
Oh,
which
that
is why
was-
it was awesome.
It was
that
beautiful.
was amazing.
Yeah.
That's different than graceful.
I want to watch Gallegos run a hurdles race.
If he
now.
would have hurdled that thing, he was full body on the thing like this, his leg up in the air, and it almost
It
looked
was
for a
like he
second
was using it like a pommel horse, though. That's how graceful it was.
Both legs, same
no,
time.
I think his whole body was in contact with the. There was no like lift. There
but it was
no
smooth.
air.
He didn't miss a beat.
I disagree.
Oh, man,
there was a moment of hesitation where I thought, oh, he might not make this.
No,
kind of rooting
no,
for it.
that would have been Marcelo Zuna. He would have got his cleats stuck in the fence or something and fallen.
No, I mean, just the difference between watching two dudes in the blood and the mud and the beer brawling is way different than watching two women fight. There's no doubt about that.
How many women have you seen fight?
10?
I hate this.
I walked into
What were they fighting over? You?
I was there, so I assume.
He's like, I'm just going to claim that one.
Yeah.
He's sitting at the
They
bar.
must be fighting over me.
They're fighting over me.
I walked into the middle of a girl fight in the hallway of high school, like my first week in my freshman year. I was looking down, I wasn't paying attention. Next thing I know, I'm standing in the middle of these two girls. Each one had hands on hold of each other's hair and they were swinging.
Dude, it's brutal.
I'm like, I'm going to get hit. I need to step back.
Mm-hmm. It is mean.
Yeah, but guys,
Going back to my original point, if the men out there had the hair that women have, they'd have been pulling hair. They're pulling on each other's jerseys. Nobody's hitting anybody. That's not even a fight.
No, that's probably a good point because
It's
that's
just about
that's the
my
equivalent.
point. If you took
Yeah.
exactly what those men were doing out there and you substituted women for men and all of the behavior was the same, it would look like a cat fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's the women grabbing each other's hair
And scene.
is the equivalent of men in hockey grabbing each other's jerseys and holding them over their heads. It's basically the same thing. It doesn't look as bad.
It's control, but
Yeah.
it's not fighting.
I don't know. You usually, if you're a righty, you're grabbing with the left and you're swinging with the right. That's the way hockey fights happen. That's the way girl fights happen. And except they're clawing. They're not just punching, man. They're tearing out your flesh.
Ryan, it sounds like you've been beat up by girls.
No, I haven't.
Tell us where they hurt
Just
you.
I'll just walk up to any girl fight though with a big gulp and be like, "Yep, here we go." Men fights, not so much, because I don't assume they're fighting over me.
You don't assume, but you're open for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Speaking of girl fights, the YouTube poll. Did you vote in today's YouTube poll?
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. Whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. Did you hear the report I read earlier about the genesis of the Washington Post op-ed that she wrote?
No.
She didn't write it. She had an ACLU staffer write the op-ed that trashed Johnny Depp. Amber Heard had it written, submitted the first draft to Amber Heard, and in the first draft, it directly named Johnny Depp. Lawyers Amber Heard's lawyer said, no, take his name out of there. So draft 2, 3, they had several staffers working on this. And she said it needed to be released right after Aquaman came out.
Okay. That's weird. It surprises me it was the ACLU. That doesn't seem like the group you'd go to.
Where would you go to for these
I
types
don't
of things?
know. It seems like you'd go to some sort of, women's organization or something, not the ACLU.
What store do you go to get political defamation hit jobs done on ex-husbands so you can make your movie be more successful?
First, you have to go to a biologist, find out what a woman is, and then they can direct you to a woman's agency.
An America Civil Liberties Union staffer penned Amber Heard's 2018 Washington Post op-ed describing herself as a, quote, public figure representing domestic abuse. Manufacturing it. Quote, I tried to gather your fire and rage and really interesting analysis and shape that into an op-ed form. At least 3 other staffers were involved in drafting and revising the piece, testified ACLU COO Taryn Doherty. This is probably like the most effort she ever put into a paper. In a pre-recorded deposition on Thursday. Earlier drafts included direct references to Depp, which her lawyers had removed. That to me is a very damning thing because the fact that the Washington Post op-ed did not actually mention Depp was a key part of pulling out the ability to prove that she intended malice directly to Johnny Depp, even though it's obvious that the whole thing is about him. But now that they have the evidence that it did in fact reference Depp and their lawyers had it taken out, then of course it has to do with it.
Yeah, it seems like what went out publicly would be all that mattered because we're talking about defamation, but
no, all you got to do is prove that her intent was to harm Johnny Depp. And if the op-ed is the same, but you just take out a reference of a specific name, but not the reference of the incident, that's pretty obvious.
It also proves that she knew doing it was wrong. So it was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Is she trying to use, I was just doing PR for a movie as a defense? No. Or is that just a byproduct?
I have not watched enough of that. I like touch base in here every time something else pops up because it's like, it is such a bizarre story. And like I said before, earlier in the show, we spend all of our time looking at these celebrities and the assumption is that we're all pining to be just like them. But it turns out that they'd probably like to be normal like us, which is just kind of an interesting turn of events. So the YouTube live chat poll, you need to hurry up and get in there and vote. And the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, whose side are you on? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. Hannah will come in here and give us the results of those that poll here in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So easy loving you. It just comes natural.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Tom Spicer is back with us. Your mind is exploding over a guy who wants to buy a platform to embrace the First Amendment. They love the First Amendment for them, not for you.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Vitae Foundation is hosting yet another pro-life event. I'm so excited to be emceeing this event, and I look forward to meeting you at it. Got to reserve your table because the keynote speaker this time is Rachel Campus Duffy, a friend of the Annie Frey Show, but absolutely a friend of the cause advocating for the preservation of life. It's the mission of Vitae Foundation. And if you go to vitaefoundation.org, you're quickly going to understand a little bit more about how they use their ability to fundraise to reach real women who are potentially abortion determined and potentially change the course, literally, of their life. When you talk to people who are at Vitae Foundation, the thoughtfulness and the mindfulness that goes into how they utilize the funds that they raise, it's such a smart and forward-thinking way to reach these women and care about both heartbeats, the heartbeat of the mother and of the unborn child who deserves the attention in this moment. If you want to be a part of this event, of this mission, if you want to hear Rachel Campus Duffy speak like I do and would love to meet you at this event, it's Tuesday, May 17th, dinner and program at 7 p.m. and it's the Plaza Frontenac Hilton. You can go online to register your table at vitaefoundation.org.
The Fed has raised rates.
But there's still time to lock in Golden Oak Lending's low 3.75% rate.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With home values at all-time highs and our low rates, you can pull more cash out of your home.
Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blues.
NMLS 114937, 3.75% fixed, 4.88% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Politician Darren Bailey calls himself a conservative, swears he's a believer, but look closely at his record. Bailey's a deceiver, the textbook definition of a dishonest politician hiding his record. For instance, Bailey was caught on tape admitting he voted for Joe Biden. In his own words, listen.
I might have voted for Biden.
Biden for president?
I might have voted for Biden.
What kind of conservative votes for Joe Biden? The fake kind. Darren, the deceiver. But Bailey's a believer when it comes to one thing, property tax hikes. Voted 13 times to raise property taxes, increasing 81%, even higher than Chicago. Jesse Sullivan's no better. Claims to be conservative, yet Sullivan backed Obama for president. His campaign's propped up by Pritzker Democrats, just like Bailey's. Sullivan even founded a group pushing open borders and amnesty for illegals. Sullivan and Bailey, not true conservatives, no matter what they say. Paid for by Urban for Illinois.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
Are you frustrated and just want a service company to solve all your ongoing water leaks around your chimney the first time? English Sweep Full Service Company has been solving chimney issues for 40 years. Go to EnglishSweep.com. Get back to the important things in life. EnglishSweep.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for warmer weather with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. For details and to get in your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being here with us today. It's Thursday. Has this seemed like a long week or a short week? Fast week?
Long week.
Long.
Been short for me.
Last week
like it's
flew
taken
by
forever.
this week.
Especially this
Right
afternoon time.
now.
Oh gosh, right? Yeah,
Never
time
ends.
is just stretched at this moment.
It's 2:49. It's gonna be like that forever.
Ugh. Went 250. Can't get here fast enough.
No kidding. We have a YouTube live chat poll. I haven't looked at the results at all today. Hannah is in here to talk to us about it. Tell us what the poll is and let us know the breakdown.
So the poll is asking whose side you're on: Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, neither, or I could not possibly care less. The results, I've been looking at them all day and they've been fluctuating.
Really?
They've really been all over the place. So right now we have 126 votes.
Wow.
36.
Relatively speaking, we usually get about 100 people who come on there and vote.
We've been getting more.
Well, I wondered if this garnered 50 votes, that was going to tell me. But what are the results?
So 36% of the people said they are on Johnny Depp's side. 2% of the people voted Amber Heard.
That's like
I like that.
one person.
Was that you?
No, but that's what I would do.
I know.
Somebody voted for Amber Heard just
Yeah,
because.
just because.
10% voted neither, and 53% voted I cannot possibly care less. But earlier in the day, around like 12:25, Johnny Depp had like 63% of the votes. And then as the show went on,
more and more people didn't care.
That does make sense though, because I think that I'm inferring a little bit here, but I think that people who are paying attention and are invested want to vote for Johnny Depp fast. And everyone else is like, fine, I'll vote. But it's interesting to me that we had, based on those numbers, I don't know, 65 people who took the time to come tell us that they don't care at all.
Yep.
But, I mean, it's that important to them. And I'm not making fun of that. I'm saying that every time they see Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, they want to poke their eyes out.
Yeah. I would be in that camp. I really wanted to say I couldn't care less, but I cared just enough. I'm keeping like a side eye on it just enough that I had to hit neither, because there was no better option for me from that.
Hannah, what was your vote?
I voted Johnny Depp, but I'm not happy with my selection because
just make up something else then.
Yeah, nobody knows how you actually voted.
I could go in my burner account and vote differently.
Yeah.
But I do think both of them are in the wrong and very
they just seem like they're a mess.
Yeah, just it's hard to watch, but you kind of like, do a side eye of it, and it's sad all around. I don't want to care, but I am invested.
Sad in a pathetic, sad kind of way.
Yes.
Not in like, man, I feel so bad for them. That must be really hard.
Sad in a, look what you've become. You have everything.
Mm-hmm.
You are pretty much like world royalty. You can go anywhere, do anything you want, and you're here. Really?
Yeah.
You kind of feel bad for them.
What'd you vote?
Well, I feel bad about my vote because
look at us.
Mine was a lie. I said I couldn't care less.
But you feel like you care a little bit?
But I voted. And
that was an option.
If I didn't vote, then that would have been me not caring at all.
I don't think so, because people vote because they care about the show. And honestly, one of the reasons I asked is because I care about the direction that we take the show.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would have gotten an overwhelming response about, because what'd you say, 56%?
It they was care less? 53%.
53%. If that would have been 20%, I will spend more time talking about this story. But this is, that's about, I guess, what I expected it to come out as far as people who didn't care. I wondered if anybody would vote for Amber Heard, and I would have expected you to.
Yeah, I would have.
Got a retweet from Team Amber Heard on Twitter.
What?
Somebody with hashtag Team Amber Heard.
Really?
You said Team Amber, and I thought it was like just one word. It was like,
Team Amber.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
Retweet from Team Amber.
So cool. I'm a big, strong guy. I'm pretty excited about that.
Gary from YouTube commented, I care about Johnny and Amber as much as they care about me. That I liked that comment.
They do care about you caring though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
They want you to care.
They don't care about you. They care about your attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My public.
Do you think that he's doing this for anything outside of just being on the record?
Yeah, I do. I think he's trying to get his name back. If he's
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, do you think that the reason he's doing this is more about his integrity and not, I want to clean Amber Heard's bank out?
Not necessarily his integrity, but him at least projecting that he's got it together enough that he's employable.
And that he's been a victim.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes. I think he's concerned because he's losing his status as an A-lister.
I've been watching. Haven't really been. They keep popping up in my YouTube suggested videos that they're body language experts and they're assessing the situation. And I'm always like, oh, I'm interested in this. I turn it on and I'm like, it's a 45-minute video. I'm like, I need 30 seconds max. And you going, you see what Johnny Depp did with his eyebrow right there? That's how you know they blah, blah, blah. And they're like, 45 minutes of them. I'm not here for that. Sorry. You see my body language.
Have you seen the stories about what's going on outside the courtroom?
Like with
It's
Johnny
basically
Depp
a
fans?
circus.
Yes.
There's people out there with llamas and there's flags and it's become basically a carnival.
Does Amber Heard have any supporters?
I don't know. I'm not seeing
like,
much.
Physically present, not like in life. I mean, that too, I suppose. One might indicate the other. But I mean, Johnny Depp has like a whole section of women who are there to support him, which has got to be way creepy.
Would you want to have a whole section of people who supported Amber Heard? Because I'm pretty sure it's like 55-year-old dudes in spaghetti shirts.
Spaghetti?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in a long time. Spaghetti strap.
What are you doing?
Those shirts
That's
that-
inappropriate. What?
Those white shirts.
Don't do that to
Basically,
Hannah.
you just get spaghetti sauce all over them.
That's not what I thought you were talking about at all.
Yeah, maybe I'm not.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by something. Spaghetti on the shirt. What are we doing now?
And thanks for ending the show for us, Brad.
This is a great time to just stop talking.
Just end.
It's almost Friday, guys.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening anyway. There can't possibly be anybody listening right now because they could not possibly
They
care
didn't care about
less.
Johnny Depp. We just did a whole
No!
segment on Johnny Depp, so they left.
I would have voted for Johnny Depp. I've invested myself enough to be like, that dude he's seen some things. He's done some things. But I don't like this whole believe women thing that makes it okay for women to behave that way. And
No.
Woo! What does it do? A grumpy?
Drop the grumpy.
I don't know. What's happening? Mark Reardon coming up next. Don't go away.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year